Hey everyone, welcome to episode 11 of Icewind Dale Corrupted. How's everyone doing this fine morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are in the world, or middle of the night. It could be the middle of the night, in which case, go to bed. Go to bed. Be wise. Make good choices. Anyway, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. What is that? It's a tabletop role-playing game. How does it work, you ask? Well, I will tell you. The players around me all play characters in a shared fantasy universe. They have character sheets that tell them what they can and can't do whenever they try and do something. Well, not every time. Most of the time, they roll a 20-sided dice. That's one of these. 20s and above mean they probably do it. 1s and below mean they don't, and we get to laugh at our own misfortune. Laugh at death.
Mostly George.
And in the meantime, everything they encounter, monsters, nice people, fewer of those this time, they're currently in a very monstery situation, is played by me. I control the world around them and help them achieve their goals and curate the experience for everyone around as a dungeon master. So that's what we're doing, isn't that lovely? Why don't we meet the lovely players before we get in too deep, though, starting with Rebecca.
Hi. I am Rebecca. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Ivy, who also uses she, her pronouns. Ivy is a human monk, formerly an assassin who was trying to turn it all around. And, well, she tried to not kill things and has quickly downgraded that to only kill bad monsters who are a physical threat, which is going fairly well so far. She is enjoying lots and lots of rock climbing into the interior of a definitely not incredibly creepy glacier, and is trying not to be so incredibly socially awkward that she accidentally gets herself or other people killed.
So far, so good, I think. George.
Yes.
Hello, I'm George. I'm playing Ashra Beckett. Ash, I use he, him pronouns. Ash uses she, her pronouns. Doing wizard stuff. Pretty good. Getting back in the groove of being in the field, doing like combat-y wizard things, investigative wizard things that aren't like directing people around from behind a desk. And yeah, I was a T-Rex last time. Milk turned me into a T-Rex and it was awesome.
For the second time, so this time you got to actually do something with it.
Yeah,
so
this is a full effect T-Rex.
I want everyone to open, by the way, your character descriptions with doing fill-in classy stuff. That's just, I want that from now on from everybody. That's the best way to describe D&D, I think. Emma, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm gender fluid, so I will define my pronouns in the moment when you need to use them. My character is Prosp'rus, who is also gender fluid, so if we can just use Prosp'rus as Prosp'rus's pronouns, or you can just use P, which is shorter. Prosp'rus is having a good time.
Oh God! You're in a deathly horrible situation. You're like, yay!
This is Prosp'rus's jam. There's not a lot of people who need protecting, apart from you lot, who are quite competent and less likely to die immediately. Have a cool new sword, which is fine, although not magical, so that's a bit of a shame. And we're on a farm underneath a glacier in a weird old city, so it's just like being at home.
Sorry, in or out of game? It's really struggling with that.
Well, actually, kind of both, but yeah.
Okay. Red, save us.
Hi, I'm Red, he, him, playing Milk, also he, him. Today I'm dressed as the Matrix. Milk is a spy for the Arcane Brotherhood who is very far away from home, trying to discover the true nature of the creature that lives under the ice, or the being that is down here, and trying to see if he can make a Faustian bargain to get the eggs of another god out of his face, where they have been nesting now for a very long time. And is very excited to have turned up in rustic, rural countryside land 500 meters beneath the ground. It's all great. It makes total sense.
And those scalings are completely accurate. 500 meters exactly is how far down you are.
Is it really?
No.
Of course.
Poe.
Hey, sorry. Hi, my name is Poe, and I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Viktor, a Tabaxi life cleric who uses he, him pronouns. Viktor is an ex-army doctor who was kind of sick of being told which people he was allowed to help and which people he wasn't. So he ended up leaving with his best friend and kind of moving around for like 20 years, during which time he was no longer able to contact his deity, who is Lyra the Joybringer. That probably should have said something about his situation. But for recently he's been camping out in Camp Howell, healing people, and now has been kind of thrown back into a conflict he didn't want to be involved in, but his spell, Dawn, and his ability to bring the sunshine is kind of what's helping people stop being corrupted. Last time we saw Viktor, he was battling a giant wheat monster. And it was... Yeah.
Thank you, Bo. Great. Audience, if a lot of that feels a bit like, I feel like I'm coming in quite late to this, penultimate episode. 2 more to go. This one and next Monday. So if you want to join us for today, please do. If you want to understand what's going on, I would thoroughly recommend catching up on the playlist on YouTube of all of our previous episodes to date. You can catch all of those at youtube.com/adventurerswanted. But do stay here at twitch.tv/adventurerswanted if you want to find out what happens next, or you've been with us the whole time. And if so, good on you. So, some AOB. This stream runs for about 3 hours, and in that time there will be a break, roughly halfway through. It's all improvised, so we'll have to find that as we go through. We have some sponsors, D&D Beyond. They are the digital tool set for playing Dungeons & Dragons online, and they are excellent. You can build your characters on there, you can read all the books on there, you can run adventures from there, you can build encounters on there, you can read articles from excellent writers about other stuff that's going on in the D&D world. You can run encounters on there, so I'd run my encounters. You can even roll dice on there. It is absolutely brilliant. Can't recommend enough. And also, there's a player app now, so you can use it on your phone if you're not connected to the internet. So, marvelous, marvelous thing. Check it out at dndbeyond.link/adventurerswanted. We're also sponsored by Ultra Pro, where D&D Beyond are all about the digital tabletop. Ultra Pro are all about the physical tabletop. So a huge number of excellent gifts and items and things you can use on your tabletop. Dice bags, dice boxes, dice themselves, and these lovely player wallets where you can keep your character sheets. It's also got slots for spell cards if you're a spell card user. Or frankly, if you're like me and take lots of physical written down notes as a DM, you can keep them in one of these too. Very helpful. This cover image is of a wizard burning someone to death. So, if that floats your boat, then there you go. Burning to death. Burning to death. That's what we're selling here today. Burning to death. If you join us in the Twitch chat at any point during this stream, you are eligible to win. Your name will be drawn out of a hat at the end of the stream, and anyone in Twitch chat is eligible to win, although UK address holders only, as we're all based in the UK, and posting things overseas is expensive and contravenes a lot of competition laws we're not going to try and get into in this conversation. But yes, if you please join us in the chat to take part. Otherwise, we are supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Next to Neolight's face on Neolight's right, I believe, you'll be able to... That side, yes. You'll be able to see an Idle Champions gold chest code. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game, a D&D strategy game for your phone, computer, Nintendo Switch, I think some other consoles as well. You can play many different heroes of the Forgotten Realms in a side-scrolling adventure. And if you enjoy the thought of that gold chest code there, normally worth about 20 gems, I believe, will net you lots and lots of new things, maybe even new heroes. Who knows? Who can say? So do grab that gold chest and check out Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Finally, we play with a diverse set of players, a diverse set of characters. Our tables are trans-positive, and we both encourage and champion trans players, characters, and DMs, hello, in this game. We have a policy for misgendering, so we are careful at table not to misgender, and if we do, we have a policy for correction, which you'll see us actively using as part of play. If we miss something, though, do let us know, info@adventurerswanted.co.uk, or message in the chat, or send us a tweet. Any option like that is perfectly fine. The DM and players may also portray characters that are of a different gender to themselves as part of roleplay. We also have some safety tools you might see us using. Pause cards, which we have here. Can thoroughly recommend you use those in your own home games as well to make sure that everyone is being safe, playing safe, and that everything is going well in that respect. I'd also thoroughly recommend checking out the TTRPG Safety Toolkit. There'll be a link in the Twitch chat if you want to check it out there as a good way of safety tools for playing together at home. You'll find us using some of them here as well. It's just a very useful and good way of playing, can thoroughly recommend. Anyway, that's all of our AOB. Let's crack on and dive into the penultimate episode, episode 11 of Icewind Dale Corrupted. And we're back. So, 2 episodes to go, people. Let's try and encapsulate the entire story in less than 30 seconds. So, the adventurers arrayed around me are all members of a camp, Camp Howl, run by the Arcane Brotherhood, of which some of them are members, that was digging beneath the glacier for a lost Netherese city. They found bits of it, and in doing so found some horrible psychic ooze, which controlled their minds. Worried about this, they decided to go and find a nearby tribe of reg-haired nomads that knew more information about this. They travelled across top of the glacier into a strange jungle under the glacier, where they managed to find a priest who explained to them that this blood of the devourer, this strange psychic ooze, could be stopped by sunlight. And currently the Icewind Dale, where this whole adventure is set, is currently not in sunlight due to things we're not going to cover in this adventure. So that's just a setting point that you have to accept. Anyway, they managed to use a spell, Viktor's spell, Dawn, to clear the ooze, clear the psychic influence from the people of the village, left all their NPCs behind, and are now digging beneath the glacier into the Netherese city again from a different angle to try and find out what this devourer is actually doing, putting a stop to this ooze, and generally speaking, save the day. Whew, that went well. Anyway.
I need some more ibuprofen.
At the end of the last episode, they had dug their way into a mysterious grain silo in this lost city, completely empty, and found around the outskirts of it a strange ring of growing, a growth ring, a ring of fields where things were growing with strange weather under the ground affecting it and magically enhancing it, and fought off some mutated, shambling plant mounds that had become animate as part of this. We had just finished combat. Yeah, we just finished combat. All of you have just defeated these 2 mounds of growing barley and wheat and oats that were just growing and clawing all over you. And you're now stood in at the edge of these fields with this strange sun and wind and rain band passing over your heads quite quickly, leaving you with a constant, small amount of drizzle that passes away, and then beaming sunlight which passes away, and then howling winds as this circular field with the silo in the center has this weather pattern scrolling around the edge of it. As you're in this, what would you all like to do?
Gather some seeds.
Yeah,
Okay.
I grab as much of the fallen wheat as I can.
You don't have a huge amount of storage space. None of you do. You'd be able to pick up a couple of days worth of food, but you don't have a bag of holding. Or...
I'm not intending to, because
As much as I can.
this is grain. So to actually make it edible, you'd also have to grind it.
Yep.
So actually, this requires quite a lot of processing to get to the point where it's edible. So I'm not intending to take this to make into food. I want to take enough that you could plant it potentially.
Now, Prosp'rus, you rolled a nature check last time, and for free, I'm going to give you this grain, the stuff you are picking as you pick through and look for seed husks and that sort of thing. It's all quite mutated. It's been down here consistently growing.
Yes, that's what's interesting about it, Chris.
Yeah, but it has a dodgy magic quality to it that you are not entirely happy with.
As in, it could take over the planet.
You don't know.
Had it been DM
Yes.
cursed?
I mean, what's a curse in this context? Roll me an Arcana check, Victor.
Oh, I will. I can do that. Well, no, that's a 7.
You get a slightly uneasy feeling while looking at this food that you're picking up. It's like if you look at when you see a corn on the cob and it's got too many, it's overgrown, it's got a strange color to it. Some of this looks definitely problematic.
Are you trying to tell us that you've got an issue with GM food, Chris? Is that what's happening?
No, GM food is fine. This is GM food that's been over GM'd and then spent
This is DM food.
thousands. George sold it.
Ashra?
Yes, Prosp'rus.
Can you do your magic thing and just, check this magic?
Oh, you mean the magical investigation thing, not the many other
magic
magical things I can do?
Seeds, magic.
You want me to analyze this to see if there are traces of
I'm
magic?
just waving seeds at you at this point and saying the word magic.
Give me the seeds. I promise I'm not going to eat them.
Well, I can just pick more if you do eat them.
No, don't eat them.
Right.
Oh, I see. No, don't
Right.
eat them.
I'll take the seeds, and it'll take me 10-20 minutes to investigate that. Well, I guess it's 10 because I can just identify if it's just on the seeds. It'll take me 10 minutes or so.
Cool. Well, I
Not
guess.
like we've ever gone wrong eating something we didn't fully understand.
No, it's not been the plot of the whole thing, has it?
Oh, no.
Oh, never been a problem.
I have a DM question. Chris, last time, did you say that one of the 4 seasons was some snow?
It's not so much snow as it is a cold snap. As
Is there snow?
There'd be some small pockets of snow, maybe. Yeah, why?
Whilst Ash is spending those 10 minutes identifying, Ivy would like to go find the snow and gather a few snowballs that she will wait with for Miss Beckett to finish her spell.
Could I roll a perception check to see if I see Ivy do this?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not trying to be sneaky because Miss Beckett's the only one I don't want to see and she's concentrating really hard.
Yeah, that's a 24 anyway.
Victor, you
Great.
see Ivy collecting some snowballs.
I go over and I'm kind of like, haven't you had enough of snow yet? Holy, that is snow.
Yeah, but so far in the snow it's always been a bit like peril-y, deathy. This feels a bit of a safe space, and if we're gonna die, I'd quite like to chuck some snowballs at Miss Beckett's head first. It's the small things.
Do you
Do you
want
wanna-
a hand?
I was going to say, do you want it? I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah. All right, I'll help.
Ashra, you identify these seeds.
Can I
Okay.
spot this? I'm fine if I can't. But am I aware of this or not?
I think you can roll me a perception check with disadvantage as you are trying to cast a spell at the same
Seems
time.
entirely fair. That is entirely fair, and that is entirely bad. It's an 11.
Okay, I think for this to work, Ivy, Victor, you have to roll me either deception or performance checks or something along those lines to try and...
Is stealth not allowed? Or...
Stealth I'd allow, yeah, stealth's fine.
Oh,
yeah.
good. You mean the thing I have advantage and +9 on? Great.
Yeah, that is 19
Yeah,
on
you're
stealth. Yeah.
Dirty 20.
It's gonna get me.
Our hands are behind our back and we're whistling, and the hands behind the back are forming the snowballs.
Yeah.
And that's the universal symbol for nothing suspicious is happening here. So.
Yeah,
You rolled an
exactly.
11, George, that is correct.
Which you-
Yeah.
So, Ashra, you identify these seeds, and as you
Yeah.
finish identifying them, you have a good idea of what's going on. These seeds, all of them, are almost bursting with transmutative energy. They have a magical like growth hormone in them effectively.
Sure.
And you can also tell from this that their initial purpose was to grow very quickly and be harvested very quickly. However, that has not happened. And with an identify spell, you can tell these are now, they're not like throw them and they explode levels of problematic, but you wouldn't want to eat what came out of them. The magic has
Right.
become very warped and strange, and you're not quite sure what would happen.
Could they, in principle, be made safe, or is that just a whole?
You would have to take them and
Okay.
experiment with them over time.
Fine, cool. I will turn and open my mouth to report my findings.
Hey!
They appear to be compromised in some way. Maybe we could do more. Maybe with further investigation, we could make them safe. But I would not eat this or eat the products of this at this time.
Right,
See?
okay.
Learning. I will pick up some particularly succulent bits and put them in whatever is my equivalent for Tupperware that I have with me.
Knowing you've got magical Tupperware, so...
Right, like vials and things.
Oh,
Along with the
I
ooze.
think Milk probably runs magical Tupperware parties, doesn't he, on some level?
Right, they're notoriously fun.
I will. I'll not take any because doing magical research on grains sounds incredibly tedious.
You should come to one of my parties.
See, one of these usually costs £5. Right.
Ms. Beckett, there's something else I'd really like you to take quite a close look at, if that's okay. I'd throw a snowball at her.
Yes.
Make me an attack roll using your dexterity.
Thank you.
I'll also do that.
So that's a D20 and then just add my dex mod, right?
Yeah, it's your monk weapon attack roll because dex-based things are your monk weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just the same as a... Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nat 20 to hit. Does that mean I get double damage?
Yes, and that was 27.
Wow. I was willing to burn a shield spell on this, but no.
As you turn around, as you say, I've got something I want to show you, throw a snowball, Ivy, and it hits Ashra quite solidly, like around the cheek and jaw. But Victor's just, as Ashra opens her mouth to go, just straight in the mouth.
Bravo.
I thought we specifically said not to eat anything.
Ivy will then hand her remaining snowball to Ash and go, come on, fair's fair.
I'll bounce it a few times in my hand.
And drop it.
And probably, actually, give yeah, I'm going to throw the snowball. I have no fancy things I can do, but I'm just going to...
Are you going to throw the snowball at Ivy?
Isn't that the invitation? Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah,
you've
it was
clearly
the
not learned the
invitation.
rules of snowball fights, which is throw at whoever's currently not thinking they're getting a ball thrown at them. That's...
Ash hasn't done this before.
Oh.
So it's, I'm presuming I'm not proficient in snowballs.
I think everyone's proficient in snowballs. Everyone was a kid once. So
I
Was Ash a kid?
I rolled a natural 20.
Hey! I will give you this, George. Where are you aiming for?
Oh, that's a hard question. Probably just straight in the face. Yeah, that's the most interesting place to hit someone with a snowball.
So, Ivy, you get a snowball directly in the conch.
Yeah. Good shot.
That felt good.
Do you want to do it again? Chuck another one at her, like gently.
I'm just going to edge slowly backwards towards Milk, away from this.
Gallows humor? I'm not sure. But they seem to be having a nice time.
They do, don't they? I don't want to interrupt them, but also I really don't want a snowball thrown at me. Just
Are
gonna.
you scared of snowballs?
No, I just don't like being cold.
I mean, it's a lot warmer down here than it was up where we came from, where there was a lot of,
Yeah.
quote, death snow, as it was put by
I'll
Ivy.
just stand here next to you and they won't notice us, right?
Fine. No, that's fine. I'll just minor illusion some more wheat in front of us and hope they don't notice that we're here.
Ashra, where are you throwing your snowball?
I'm just pitching back and forth between. I'll like look at Victor and like this seems fair game, right? This seems like okay. I'll throw one at Victor.
Roll
Victor's
the
a
hit.
cat. How cruel.
Oh, yeah, I got to roll.
How
I gotta
cruel.
roll, yeah.
A
That is
Siberian cat.
much more normal. That is an 8.
Spike
There's a 2 on
and
the
move
dice.
out the way.
Let's say, for sake of argument, that Ashra throws in, it's just like miles off. Victor, you don't even move, just like...
And like, would you like to give it another try? I'll stand closer if you'd like.
Don't patronize. I was like, don't patronize me, but on the me, I will then throw the snowball before the sentence is finished.
Can I do anything to like make it easier? And
You can
therefore
give
them
Ashra advantage. You can help. Anyone can do that.
I'll be
Right.
helping. But I go, bit you that, come on.
That's upwards of a 20.
Yeah. So Victor, this time you sort of whoop and let it hit you and like, oh.
What?
What fun!
I've not done that since I was a kid.
Right, there's an adventure to be had. Are you all ready?
Yeah.
Are we good? Yeah?
That was
Yeah.
a nice fun party bonding moment before.
It's now warm
Yes.
summer rain is floating out
That was
over
a
you
terrible
again anyway.
thing, I'm sure.
Looking around, you can't see any way out of this ring of fields. I mean, you haven't looked, but not obviously.
Other than the way
we
we
look?
came in the other 3 doors.
The way you came in and the other 3 doors, but they all go out. You can assume fairly because of the curve of this that they all go out to the same space.
Right, same space. Well, I might take a look around as we've come this way, or send Melinaway at least around the perimeter to see if there's any other
Sure.
exits. Shall I roll a perception and investigation?
Roll me a perception check while you're there. Because you weren't taking part in the dumb snowball fight, so you could be...
Would anyone like to
Yes,
help me?
I will. I will
I'll
help.
give you guidance.
Because I'm not snowballing.
Thanks, Victor.
You're all
17
missing
plus
out.
Guidance. Oops. This one. That's better. That's 22.
Cool. If you start moving away from everyone a little bit, just looking around, this 40-foot wide sort of field does loop around, and the walls are still this stone, but they turn into earth at about sort of ground level, and it looks like the earth has been packed in and these things have been grown on top of them. As you move around the space, not too far, I don't like straying away from everyone else. The curve, because it's 40 foot wide, the curve is quite arcing because the space on the inside was about, as we described earlier, about 100 foot wide. So it is quite a big, wide space to move around. And as you start looking around it, you can see that in the wall, on the far side, outside of where the silo was on the inside, there are occasional panes of glass, although they do look to be quite sort of warped and it's very hard to see through them. As you keep scanning around the edge, you do eventually see another one of these doors. Again, you don't know what hermetically sealed is, but again, it's a tiny crank and there's a human-sized door.
Okay, windows as in see-through.
Yes, you can't see through them from this side. They appear to have been weather bashed to a point where they're warped and very hard to see through.
But
and they're quite small and quite high up as well.
Okay, well, I'll float on up to have a look. Can I see through when I get close?
Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. So that's a 1, but an unnatural 1. Oh no, wait, a 5. Sorry, a 5. I'm adding, not just.
Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 3, and then I took 2 away rather than adding 2 on because I thought that was what disadvantage was.
No, that's not
I've
what that
been
is.
playing for 11 weeks.
As well as all the other time you play in your real life, Red. Come on.
Exactly.
So you look through this, and there's a blue glow, quite a strong blue glow. And thinking of recent blue glows you've encountered, not the bluey, whitey, horrible glow from the undead Cold Light Walkers, it does have a similar blue glow to the strange library you found in Koliar. Very similar colour. You also see a faint tinge of green. Can't really place that.
Huh.
But it's all very warped and hard to see through.
Okay, well, I'll continue my circle back round, and if the snowball fun has petered out, I will alert everyone up to that information.
You're welcome.
Great. Well, should we go check it out?
Yes.
Cool.
Let's go open another door. Can I open the door?
If you all walk up to it, yeah, of course you can open the door. It's fine.
Well, I had to roll to open the door last time. Do you need me to roll?
Yes, you just need to roll an athletics check. Of course you do.
I should roll. Probably fail. This is where doors are normally quite hard. I rolled a 2. It's a 10.
It's enough. Yeah, takes you a minute, but you do like slowly, lots of grinding, lots of noise. And again, you can see the sides of the door where there's some metal inserts are clunk, 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 like pulling themselves out, giving you some excess space.
People really didn't want these doors to be opened.
Yeah.
As you pull the door open, can everyone please make me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, dear.
Is everybody within 10 feet of me?
I'd say so, yeah.
Plus 5.
I forgot for a second I'm not playing a barbarian, and I was like, can I use danger sense? But
Well, I rolled a 9.
You did that plus 5.
With the...
My dexterity is really bad.
Oh.
oh, that's a 9.
Plus
Okay,
5,
23.
12.
Even plus the extra 5 from Prosp'rus. Just checking with everybody.
Oh, sorry, 14.
Okay.
Also 14.
Okay.
23.
23. Cool.
I have plus 9.
Everyone under a 13 takes full damage. Everyone over a 13 takes half damage, as a fireball explodes around all of you as you open the door.
Can I use evasion?
Yes, Monk, you can.
Thank you.
And
Should have checked for traps.
I am a tiefling, so I am resistant to fire, so I'll just take half of that, thank you.
So, what did you roll?
I haven't rolled I rolled a 12, so I take the damage.
Oh, but you still take half. Cool. Okay.
Can I reaction cast absorb elements to give myself resistance to the damage?
You have a reaction. You're welcome to use reactions.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Yeah. Bam. Resistance.
12.
Maybe I'll wait till I know how much damage it is first. But
I'll just take all of it.
I'll take my half.
23 points of damage.
23.
Oh,
So
okay.
halved, that would be
Singed.
11.
11.
Right.
It rounds down, right?
It rounds down, so half is 11.
So if I half again, so 5.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not well.
Oh, I'm not well.
I'd taken damage last time from those
I've
piles
just-
of elves.
Just gone below half hit points.
Okay, and with that explosion, can everyone please roll me initiative?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Snap!
Oh, March, combat!
It was a trap. We didn't think of traps.
Big Daddy.
Traps here? No.
We're in a really safe, happy bit.
Everyone, please shout out your initiatives.
7.
11.
7, 11.
Also 16.
17.
Was your
Could
7
this
or
be a
11?
dangerous
Mine was
place?
11.
We just had a
No.
snowball fight.
Right.
I've got 7 and 11 now. Ash, what did
This
you
is
get?
just Chris punishing us for the snowball.
16. for me.
Actually, I had genuinely planned this, but the snowball fight adds an extra level of cruelty to it, I agree. Milk, what did you roll? I didn't hear you.
17.
17. Ivy?
Also 16.
16. Right, you'll go before Ashra because your
Although
dex is
us throwing snowballs, then being hit by a fireball is a lovely moment of like unintentional
Yeah.
juxtaposition.
I mean, there's 20 sides on the dice. Weird thing. There's a phrase in German that the ball is round. It's about football, but principle is the same. Right, Milk, it's your turn. What would you like to do at the top of initiative? You're standing in this doorway, which is crowded with all of your bodies. And next to all of... There's this huge explosion's just gone off. And looking inside the space, the door that Prosp'rus has opened, inside is a room. It is lit with a dim glow light, so it's quite hard to see. And looking inside, you can barely make out a bobbing green shape floating around inside the space and this blue glowing light. The whole space seems to be covered in black desks, the same black material you've seen elsewhere before.
Okay.
Discs or desks?
Sorry?
Desks.
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 Sorry, not discs, desks.
When you can I see a being? Is that what your bobbing green light?
You can see a bobbing green light.
Okay, in that case, and the door that was did it come off its hinges? Is that what that meant?
No, the door's absolutely fine. Door's made of stone and metal. It's not affected by this at all. The explosion was a fire.
It was the hermetic. I got the sense that it was
No,
completely coming off the
you
wall.
open it and then it still has a hinge. It still opens normally. Just as it opened, a fireball exploded amongst all of you.
Okay. Difficult. So I can't see anything physical is kind of what I'm...
You can see this bobbing green light that appears to be moving around a bit, but it's very, very dark in here. All you have is that light source.
Sure, but I have dark vision, so that doesn't
I
really
see.
faze
Well,
me.
and as you look through the green light, you can see inside that green light what looks like a floating skull.
Ah, okay. That's what I was after. A target. I will. I don't know. There are so many choices. How big is the room?
If you can see across, it's probably about 100 feet across. It's quite a big room, but all of these black desks take up quite a lot of it with this blue light sort of glowing out of various desks. It's very low ceilinged. It's only about 10, maybe, foot. It's not.
Okay.
It's a long, thin space.
I'm going to try something. I'm going to cast Sickening Radiance on where the thing is.
Oh.
And then I'm going to pull the door to.
Talk to me through Sickening Radiance, special spell.
Dim greenish light in a 60-foot diameter sphere. A creature that's in it at the start of its turn or moves into it takes 4d10 radiant damage and suffers 1 level of exhaustion. If it suffers 6, it's dead.
You just threw a uranium rod into this room.
Basically, and I'm just
And it's at range. You don't do it around yourself.
No, it's got 120-foot range, so I'll do it over the thing inside the room.
Okay, you sort of. How do you summon this energy? What does it work like for you?
I think there's probably just a point in space where he just focuses his energy and then it just begins to split and pull apart, and this kind of what feels like light but is more gross and on brand kind of weird just sort of begins spilling out and not flowing in straight lines, and he begins to panic a little, not quite sure what he's done, and pulls the door to. I think this might work, guys, but if not, we'll see.
Cool.
And that's it. That's so.
What?
Does that? So either it will take. Basically, the spell works by it takes 1 level of exhaustion for every time that it's in it, and if it gets to 6, it will die. So if it can't get out, it's dead
your spell
in 10
won't
seconds.
fill. It's a 60-foot radius.
60-foot radius. Yeah.
Oh, so it fills the entire.
No, sorry, 30-foot radius. 30-foot radius. 60
It won't
foot
fill the
wide.
entire
My bad.
room, so it won't like sit in it going, I can't get out and die. Like you'll just take some damage probably.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'll do it between. So from the door to the. No, I'll leave. How big is the room?
It was about 100 foot across.
So I'll leave 30 feet between us and the door before it starts so that people can move in and around that space if they need to
Sure.
further handle the situation.
But you still pull the door to.
Yes, just in case if it comes running towards us. I don't know. This might have been a really bad idea. I don't know.
Who knows? I'm fascinated. Right, so you've cast... What kind of damage is it?
Radiant.
But
Okay.
it has to succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Tore a little hole in reality and it's sort of floating around it. Cool. Right. Okay. So you've cast Sickening Radiance and we have an interesting situation on our hands in there. Ashra, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Isn't Ivy go first?
Oh, Ivy goes before Ashra. Sorry, Ivy, it's your turn first. What would you like to do?
There were other doors to explore, right? We just pushed at this particular pane of glass, this particular door.
That's the only door that Milk found.
This was the only door, so we do actually have to go through then. Ivy will roll her eyes, pull the door open, and chuck a dart in, I think, please.
Okay. Do you want to step into the room?
Do I?
Milk has left
that would
30 foot of space for you to step into this room and not be inside the Sickening Radiance.
Yes, sorry, I'm just checking range of darts. Yes, it's only a 20 foot to 60 foot range. So
you can currently throw it at disadvantage. If you move in and move up to the edge of the radiance, I'll say you can throw it and it would be a flat roll.
I will do that, please.
Cool. As you move into the room and look around, this bobbing green skull in the center of this space is with this weird radiance now all around it. You see a second one as well.
Oh, come on. And they don't look at all friendly, do they? No, that would be a 17 to hit.
You do.
Great, and it's only a dart, so it doesn't do very well, but it's a bit too creepy.
It's monk damage for you. It does all your monk stuff. So.
I dropped that's 1d4 dropped somewhere. Let me find another D4.
It's not a D4. It's your monk. It's a monk weapon. It uses your monk stuff.
I need to fix that on D&D Beyond. It's got it down as a 1d4.
If a ticket is a monk weapon, it's fine. Just
Brilliant,
same as an arm strike.
Then that is a 10 to hit.
A 10 to hit or 10 points of damage?
Sorry, 10 points damage.
Totally fine. 10 points of damage. Milk, it takes the damage on its turn after a con save, yes?
That's correct, yeah. Start of its turn.
Start of its turn, then just holding that thought. Thank you.
And 1 level of exhaustion.
Yes. Ivy, you have really, really focused on this exhaustion, aren't you? Ivy has...
I think it's really cool.
As the dart was a monk weapon, that means I get another one. Just as my strength attack, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I don't do ranged. What's ranged? What is this?
Oh, I see. Someone complains at me about not doing ranged against them and then gets really shirty about it. Is that what this is?
No. That was 21 to hit at range, please, Chris.
Yes, hits well. Yes, no problem.
9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Cool. The skull that you have hit with 2 things sort of floats down in the air a bit, and there's sort of a rictus grin. It's a skull. It sort of floats down and just is trying to right itself a little bit. Ashra, now it is your turn.
Sorry, are we saying that my bonus action was pulling the door open?
No, you have a bonus action. Want a bonus action?
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I will just do one more bonk, and that definitely hits 27.
You can't.
It has to be an unarmed strike.
Your third attack has to be an unarmed strike.
There we go. I knew there was something stupid I was forgetting. Well, I'm not going to run into the death sphere.
Let's call it what it is. The irradiated space that Milk has made.
Here's the
I'm
other
not
one.
going to do that. Although, hang on, I am now, thank you, level 10, immune to disease and poison. So would that do anything?
This is not disease or poison. This is radiant damage, apparently. So.
Would Ivy know that?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Milk would scream that if it felt like Ivy was going to enter and drop concentration.
I feel like this suddenly became Fallout. Like
there's a big bolt door as well. That's what
exactly.
Yeah.
Someone walks in, and just the Geiger counter goes off horribly.
To be fair, it looks super dodgy, so I'm not going to go into it until Milk gives me some more information about it. So yeah, that is my turn. I will not bonus. Thank you.
Cool. Ashra, it is now your turn. The door is now open, so you can see.
You said there was a second one?
Yeah, there are 2. And they're both inside the radiance. They're both in the radiance, yes. I'm saying the radiance takes up all of this room apart from a 30-foot sort of cubey squarey bit around the corner where you're in.
Milk, should I keep them in there?
I mean, if you can, I think it'll take care of them. I didn't realise it wasn't quite going to fill the space, which...
How far apart are the 2 creatures?
Inside this space is about 100 foot across and is only about 10 foot high, but it's about 100 foot square. Like, it is a big room. So this effect, this 60-foot radius effect, would be filling just over half of it.
That's about 20 foot all the way around, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. So, but you would have filled part of it, which they're both in. So I'd say a good half to 2/3 of this room is currently full of sickening radiance.
Would a wall of force be enough to keep them in there?
Wall of force. What is
by
the
walling,
size?
it's 10 by 10 panels that have to be contiguous. Could I
Hang
form a
on,
barrack?
10 by 10 panels mean it would be 100 foot long, which means it would be the width of this room, so you could block them off in the bit that is irradiated and catch them, because you could literally segment
And
them off.
they can't go over it. That's the other thing, because if they
No, it's 10 foot high. Yeah, you could absolutely segment
Fine.
them in. That would be it, yeah.
I will do that, Milk, and I will cast Wall of Force as described.
It's amazing.
This is horrible.
I love
Imagine
this
if they
so
were
much.
humans. Imagine if they were humans. What are you even doing?
If they
They're
were-
not humans,
probably
they're
we
flaming
might,
skulls.
They're called
Flame
floating
skulls.
Yeah.
That's grotesque. Okay, fine. That's your action. You cast Wall of Force and block off a bit. And again, it's invisible, so it's that kind of weaving into the air like you did last time.
Bonus action, I'll just have the skeletons take the dodge action in case anything goes wrong. And,
Okay. Right. It's the skull's turn. I'm trying to work out what they do. Actually, no, first they have to make con saving throws. They have magic resistance, they do it with advantage. So the first one is a nat 20. And the second one, it's a 3 and a 2 on advantage, is a 5.
Nice.
That would fail.
So is it half damage on...
No, I don't think it takes anything if it passes.
What? That can't be right.
But it has to do it every turn, right?
It has to do it every turn, yeah.
Not even half damage for a 4th level spell. It's cruel.
So it said the creature must succeed on a con save or take the damage, yeah. And also it emits some light, but that's irrelevant. But I mean, I can concentrate on this for 10 minutes, so it's got to...
I see. I understand. Okay. Right,
succeed
so
on that saves.
one of them passes, one of them fails. The one that fails takes 4d10 radiant damage. Roll it for me.
I can do it here, can't I?
It has no resistances to radiant.
Quite dark.
Yeah.
We're going to have to sort of watch it. It's a bit gross. 24 radiant damage.
I think that your radiance, your sort of bizarre, otherworldly radiance sort of sears it, and it sort of like it sort of rolls around in the air a little bit, trying to understand what's happening to it and having no idea. Right.
Nobody look. Oh, and it also, just FYI, in case I didn't say, it takes a level of exhaustion.
Which gives you a disadvantage on ability checks so far.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. I'm wondering what it can do. It can cast some spells. None of them will get it through a wall of force.
Yay.
I can also counter some of them, probably.
Yeah.
But can you counter through a wall of force?
Yeah, it's not a line of. It's not a. There's no direct path of it. Spells can pass through if they affect something on the other side because it doesn't block vision.
I can't
if it's
find
like a
anything they
different
can do that would let them deal with this, so you will get to watch.
I will just go and sit on one of the desks.
Cool. Yes.
When it comes around to Ivy's turn, she will get as close to the wall of force as she can, or the boundary, and they'll be like, "Can you hit? Like, we don't want to kill you if you're nice. Are you high?"
It's a flaming skull, Ivy. I mean, like, I'm not one to judge on appearances, but that's a skull that's on fire.
But it might not be their fault that they're a flaming skull. They might really want to be a flaming bunny rabbit. I don't know.
As you talk about this, both skulls wither and die.
Oh.
We're out of initiative.
Oh, that was fun. I've not done that before.
I mean, on the one hand, that was really impressive, and on the other hand, I feel a bit
Just going to take
It was
this
a bit
down.
dirty, wasn't it?
Take it down.
unclean.
It's gone
I
now.
feel a
I feel
little
like
bit.
we fired a fireball in self-defense and we went so overkill.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to one full round of
Yeah.
combat.
trapping sort of creature in a irradiated sphere and watch
We
it
saved the
shrivel.
day.
That was a whole. I don't know.
Where are the
Punching
baddies?
something just feels cleaner.
Prosp'rus,
Yeah.
you sat down on a desk.
Was I not supposed to sit on
As
the
you
desk?
sat down on a desk,
Oh,
the blue
no.
light on that desk lit up.
Ashra,
and-
I sat on something and it's done something.
Did you eat
Don't move.
anything?
I know I just sat on it.
the blue light in this room, the place where you sat down, blue sigils are now lighting up around that desk in particular. But if you don't do anything and just look at it, they will eventually fade out. Some of them still glow blue occasionally in places.
I did something.
Do
Ashra.
it again. Now I'm standing
I
closer.
sit on it again.
Didn't seem to be harmful.
Again,
Do
the blue.
I recognize sigils?
You do speak Laros?
I don't.
The only one person who speaks Laros.
What do they say?
It's a series of sigils, most of them to do with, you can see various activation symbols. Harvest is a button that's on there. There are windows around this entire room, and if you start looking through some of them, again, it's quite hard to see through most of them, but the two that were nearby look back into this space. You get the sense that these panels control this area.
This is some kind of interface.
There
So
are
it
other
affects the
windows
operations
facing other
of this,
walls.
whatever this is.
Should I stop sitting on it?
It doesn't appear to have done any harm so far, but maybe just make sure you sit in that exact spot and nowhere else. I think these would activate various functions.
Shall I sit on another one and see what happens?
You can probably just touch it, but if you want to sit down, that
Ivy
Probably fine.
jumps on one.
Again, the blue sigils light up and glow. And George, if Ashra goes over and looks at that one that Ivy's just moved on to, that one says on it at various points, deposit, breakdown, nutriment is written across the top of it.
does that seem like a sort of button in the way we've seen with the other things, or is that like a label?
Label.
I'm just going to try deposit, see what happens. I'm just going to
Can I press all of the buttons on my console, please?
Calm, Prosp'rus
I'm
is
gonna
what's
press
important.
all of
Remember the last time?
Chris,
Maybe
I'm going to
just-
press all of them all at once.
As you start pressing buttons at random, and Ashra, as you press
very
harvest,
carefully, like, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And
You see-
Prosp'rus is over there.
you see the blue light effect that you saw in the library, and you see again this path trying to form, and then it's stopping.
Aw.
Most of the things in this room that would be activated from it have long since
It's
broken.
like a little light effect. Look, it's really fun.
I think it's no longer functioning. As with the library we saw, it appears to be damaged in some way.
There is a blue head sitting over an alcove in the back, which is next to another one of these food ooze dispensary alcoves. Same as last time, Ashra, exactly the same thing. Phasing slightly, moving weirdly.
Should we?
Let's go talk to the head.
Have you turned off the weird radiation light thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, likewise, drop.
The shattered remains of skull are lying on the floor.
What strange things
Is
to
that
have here.
normal for Netherese to turn into like flamey skull things?
Ashra, roll me a history check. You're a smart wizard. Milk, you probably know this as well. Arcana checks. Or history checks.
Arcana's better.
Not for me. I rolled a 3.
So I get a
Flamey
13.
skulls. 13. You recognize flame skulls. They are a type of undead you would know particularly well because you are a necromancer. They tend to be the remains of dead wizards. They animate and blow shit up.
Why would they have rigged the door?
They can
Protecting
cast
something?
fireball. One cast
Okay,
a
just cast
fireball
fireball.
at you as you open the door.
Oh, I see. I got the sense it was rigged.
Should we?
So you think just dead people that have been trapped here and eventually mutated into those things, that's...
Well, this place does seem safe is the wrong word, but secure. If they were here post the crash, then it makes sense that they would hold up here. But even with the food supply left as it was, it may not have been enough.
Well, let's talk to the head.
As you move through the space, again, these various tables light up, and Ashra, as you're passing by, you do see various things like deposit, collect, remove, like various sort of single word ways of making this whole clearly system work and making it do what it needs to do. The word nutriment comes up quite a lot in various places.
This seems to be some kind of control hub for whatever they were doing. it's hard to grasp the exact scope, but it seems that I would guess that they weren't actively harvesting. Well, clearly they haven't been, but actively harvesting this stuff. It doesn't seem like they had a roster of farmers as much as a sort of a system that did it.
Like an algorithm.
I hear those can be ineffective sometimes.
Or just, manage to screw a lot of people over for no good reason, yeah.
Sounds like another reason.
Oh no. Oh, there's a parallel we've drawn now. Right. Yeah. Do you move over to the big blue head? It's not big, it's a normal sized head. In the alcove next to the...
More unsettling if it's like normal size. That's sort of weird, yeah.
Normal sized head. And again, it's doing that slightly weird glitching thing where it's like moving, facing weirdly. Yep.
Information system. I'm sort of greeting it, hopefully.
As last time, as you get close to it, the head stops glitching and just looks straight at you, Ashra.
Purpose of this space.
Control center for Sinoriax operations.
Sinoriax operations. Give information on yeah, fair. More information on Sinoriax operations.
Sinoriax.
I'll try a bunch of
yeah. Go on. You managed to eventually find a series of words. I'm just going to make this easy for us.
Sure.
Sinoriax operations. City functioning as food repository and development, scientific exploration.
It seems we're correct about the purpose of this place. Sinoriax is the name it gives for it. Does that word mean anything? Is it a name?
Sinoriax is a name in ancient Laros. You could probably conjecture fairly that it's the name of the city.
Sure. Probably the name of this city.
Does it have a map?
Display map.
Please give path. You can
it's
understand
asking
it.
For a specific location. I'm assuming that find devourer will not be sufficient.
Well,
path not
find devourer.
Path not recognized.
If you were the devourer, where would you go? Like where are they storing the goo?
Nutriment store location.
A blue light comes out and goes to one of the doors. There are many doors to this room and heads out that door.
Milk, your associate, Melanoe, was Melanoe able to sense any... You said you had sort of a read on this thing before and where it might be. Are you able to validate in any way the path?
So Melanoe is being amongst the folds of my Eleanor Roosevelt dress, and she emerges balloon-like into the space. Melanoe, darling, can you sense the daddy under the ice here at all? Like, I'm looking for a direction, to be quite honest.
Its presence is pervasive. This is its home.
Sure. Is it stronger in one direction or another?
It is everywhere. It is in the wall next to you, and she's gesturing at the tap.
She seems to think it's everywhere. I think there must be a system running this stuff throughout the entire city. Therefore, hard to pin it down.
I'll turn to the head again. Can you display piping for the nutriment system?
Nutriment system, piping all over Sinoriax.
That fits Prosp'rus. It would be among... Yes, I think this is a good idea.
We follow that blue dot.
Let's see where it leads.
George, as before, there are runes across the bottom of this, and you've sort of circumnavigated by talking. There is one that says log, as last time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Press the law button. Sorry, log button.
Nutriment production proceeding as expected. Should be enough to feed entire Netherese empire. Should be enough to feed large number of people simultaneously. Growing and harvesting food at exacerbated rate, proving extremely effective. Nutriment supplement now in vast quantities.
I'll narrate this in real time to the others. We'll translate this in real time to the others.
The more that you say nutriment, Ashra, the less I believe that it's a real word.
Doing
It's
the
a
real
perfectly
one.
cromulent word. No, it is. It's perhaps a little unusual, but it's apt to what they're describing, I believe. Is there any more to the log, or is this the?
No, it was just a basic description of what they were doing.
Right. Yeah.
I'm curious to know, like, how the Devourer got into the system. Like, were they researching it independently? Did it invade them at some point?
Is it an opportunist?
Right.
I mean, if there was a massive pile of food here that would never go off and could feed you forever, like, and you were a being from another world, and you happened upon it, and you were like, well, I can just sit in here forever and eat it.
And wait
I've always
for
been
things.
picturing it just sitting in a bath of ooze somewhere.
I hadn't. Now I am.
Yeah.
In my
the
head, it's
city.
quite like a whale.
Oh gosh. Well then, I guess
I'm imagining like blobby and lots of eyes, but I also think that's because that would be way more satisfying to chop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said Blobby, and I just immediately thought of Mr. Blobby.
Oh god, I hope not.
In a
That's
bottle.
much scarier. That is worse.
The Devourer's voice is now Mr. Blobby's voice.
Much
It's going to hurt my
scarier
voice, but
than
I'm going to love it.
You have come to my
That's the voice everyone's been hearing.
It's not going to help with the creepiness, Chris.
Maybe that's why it communicates telepathically. Because that's what it sounds like.
But now it's got to make comedy pratfall. Sorry, if you don't know who Mr. Blobby is, please Google him.
Please don't.
I don't think this is a path you should go down, Chris, for story reasons.
Yeah. It's yeah.
I don't like it.
Would you believe it? A kid's TV character. Anyway, right. So a door has been demarcated for you. A very obvious way to go.
Well, I mean, there's a path there. We should follow the path. I mean, what else are we going to do?
Oh.
Sit here forever and push buttons. We can totally do that. We can totally do that.
If we survive, we can push all the buttons.
All at once?
That is a rash
Sure.
promise.
So when we get back to the camp, I'll find you a fun fidget toy. A spinner or maybe.
Ashra tried the fidget toy,
Mm.
but it's only interesting for like 1 minute because then you fidgeted with it, and then it's the other things are more interesting. Desk things,
Use the other of all the fidgets.
ink things.
I mean, it's frustrating to be here in the bed of this city, only going through the one door when there are so many, and
There are
perhaps
about 5 or 6 other doors. It's fair.
We
So
could explore
much.
some other doors and then go through.
We could take an assessment. There's no harm in, well, notwithstanding the last door we opened with caution, there is no harm in opening a door.
I mean,
Do you think is it possible to find out from the talky head thing what's behind them? It might suggest something of interest or not.
did they have any stuff?
Stuff, exactly.
Or just
the-
more information.
Demarcate doors.
The doors all glow blue.
Enumerate doors' purpose.
Hang on.
She's-
To
Various
seal
doors.
things.
Various doors are highlighted, and you get things like nutriment production, various different things. One stands out to you as storage.
Yeah, let's go there.
Storage.
Storage.
Love some storage.
It'll be like
Storage door.
a cheese grater and a Hoover.
Let's play Storage Wars.
They're like the place where you put your sofa when you get a new sofa, and you don't want to throw the old sofa away, but you have
An old control desk in there, yeah.
Yep, that's
Wow.
what's in there. Do you go and open the storage door first?
We'll check it for traps this
Happily.
time, but even if the last one was a trap. But
Okay,
yeah.
there is no trap. As
Fine.
you open the storage door, there is a room, not a very large room, which appears to be a series of shelves with various things stacked and placed on them. Not much reverence, like it is a storage space, but looking into this storage space, you can tell a lot of this stuff is magical items. Looking around this space, you can see quite a few things that appear to be like tools they would use or items that would used to belong to these wizards, but looking through them, it's a very strange combination. So you do see what looks like there's a necklace, and it's got symbols of a god on it that none of you recognize. There is a suit of armor that's covered in lots of grain patterns, like clearly something that was used as like a... There's a certain look of it that looks a little bit like it was something someone wore who defended this space. There's an amulet which is literally looks like a wheat sheaf. And there are 2 weird-looking like bracers, like they're sort of like arm clamps that there's a very odd look to them. They almost look like there's a strange like element to the outside of them. It looks a bit like what we would describe as a microwave heating element, but none of you know what that is.
Everything in here looks like they worship Chontea, but they can't have worshipped Chontea because they did not worship Chontea. It's very odd.
They seem to have liked wheat.
Does
Does
anybody...
They seem to have liked wheat.
Prosp'rus is not...
Definitely the vibe.
Prosp'rus is not intentionally, but is like wandering towards the armor.
What a surprise. Poe, what did you say? Poe, what did you say?
No, I said, are there any other agricultural gods?
No, not really. I mean, the ancient Netheries, as most of you would know, worshipped, because we came up earlier in the campaign, worshipped a god called Mistril, who was the god of magic, who they then killed, and then reformed as Mistra. So,
and it doesn't look like the symbology for that god.
No, if anything, what it looks like is they got really into their farming symbology because of what they did.
Who wouldn't get really into your farming symbology?
But they put it all in the cupboard. Like they've got really obsessed with the hobby, and they've bought all the kit, and now it's in the cupboard. Where they just put it out of the way.
They're wizards, George. They don't carry this shit around with them.
I know.
Now take your magic items and shut up all
Does-
of
No. Does anybody want this?
I want this armor. I don't want it.
Could I try it on? No, I'm just...
I think I would really... I have no armor.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I'm just
Miss
gonna,
Beckett,
I'm
can
just
you
gonna-
use your expertise to tell us what these things do?
I mean, I would possibly also suggest this might be a good point for a rest of some description.
That's...
Oh God, yeah.
We can rest in the cupboard.
It's closed the
I'd
door.
love
No, the cupboard is not big. The cupboard is not large enough for you all to rest.
I've got shit to do before I rest.
No.
It's going to take me if as long as none of you want this. And why would you want this? Because you'd be wandering around with like symbols of Chontea all over you, and why would you want that? Like,
Just
I mean, if
take
it stopped us from dying, that might be why we want it,
You-
regardless
It may
of the
also-
symbology. But also, you should take it.
It's also
already
worth
have that.
considering that they're symbols of Chontea to you, but not to everyone else. And sometimes symbology changes over time, over thousands of years.
I'm
Some people dislike wheat.
I'm having this armor, and it's going to take me like an hour to put it on. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to start doing that now. Plate mail
That's
takes
fine.
a really long time
You
to
also
put
need
on.
to attune to magic items. It will take about an hour at least.
I mean, do we want to just have like a sit down and a faff for an hour, or do we want to sleep here? What?
Ooh.
There was a door towards the nutriment bath where the devourer,
Yeah,
Mr. Blobby,
given-
sits.
given-
Oh
that
no,
the-
we should sleep.
Yeah.
But I need. Oh.
I have a question. Are we going to get out of game? Are we going to get the chance to long rest before? potentially-
This is
I
it.
think.
Oh, this is. Sorry, I thought this was a short rest.
No, I will happily say I don't want you to turn up into the final boss battle he set up without long resting. So this, if you wanted to long rest, this might be a good place to. Although I'm not going to lie,
prepare a tiny
you've
hut.
met me. Do you think it's a fantastic idea?
Yes.
I'll keep watch.
Oh,
I will
sorry.
prepare a tiny hut immediately.
Miss Beckett, I think we're asking quite a lot of you, but once you've tiny hutted, could you also tell us what
Bring
these
the
things do?
items in, and we will have more than enough time to check they're
Can
not,
I- can I-
as cursed and broken as some of the other things
they
we've
might
found
be
around here.
cursed.
Yeah, it might be cursed.
Could be cursed.
Could be cursed. Victor, could I ask a favour of you?
Of course. What?
You know, when we prayed to Chontea, like,
Yes, I remember.
2 days ago, a few days ago, yesterday?
What?
Time.
What is time?
Could we maybe do that again, but like with a sword?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. Thank you.
Look forward to it.
I mean, I think Ashra's gonna need us in like 10 minutes to be inside the tiny hut, so maybe not like right in this 10-minute space, but like that would be grand. Thank you. This
Is the
evening.
tiny hut sort of over some of the desks and things?
Probably. That sounds like the most open space.
There's no big open space. That you have
And it
to
gives us a work surface, or gives me a work surface.
Okay. As you make the hut and everyone steps inside it, you bring all the items inside it. After you've made the hut, about 20 minutes later, while this conversation is happening, the skulls are going to reform and float around. They reform after an hour after being destroyed, unless they are dealt with.
I had forgotten about this. Well, it's a good thing we're in here.
They're just bobbing around.
How does one kill those?
I would have thought nuclear radiation would do it, but apparently
Roll an
not.
Arcana check, please.
Do we not just want to be back in the weather field instead, or?
Yeah, that tiny hut's here now.
Yeah, fair.
19 on Arcana.
Flame skulls are destroyed unless they are sprinkled. Not destroyed, sorry, unless they are sprinkled with holy water or dispel magic or remove curses cast on them.
Holy water, dispel magic, remove curse. Use the usual package of stuff. Should have thought of that. Sorry.
I have none of those things. Does anyone have any of those things?
They currently have full hit
Water?
points.
Well,
Holy water.
I don't believe it.
dispel them.
if you bless the water, Victor, does it not become holy?
It's casting ceremony on water to make it holy water.
Oh well, I mean, you could cast.
I have time.
I mean, we do have time. We literally could do what we did before again and then rest. Like it's.
we
Yeah.
probably should kill them. Otherwise, tomorrow we're gonna have to kill them before we go.
And that's a waste of effort.
I would also point out that the last time you spoke to the Camp Howell people, they were digging deeper, and you don't know how far they've gotten.
Are you suggesting that there's a ticking clock in this scenario, Chris?
Yes, there is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Um,
I need sleep before we go to do the Devourer. Otherwise,
I
I'm
wouldn't
not going
mind
to be able
some.
to kill the Devourer. This is just the line. Like, Chris can be pushy all he wants. This is it. This is the line. I cannot kill the Devourer with no spells.
Great.
okey-dokey.
So if we're definitely sleeping, the question is, should we also kill these skulls, or should we just peg it out the door before the skulls can attack us in the morning?
They can fireball us.
It's going to be a drain on our resources to deal with them later. We may as well deal with them now while we're.
Okay.
Victor, you can. Well, what we could do is Victor could cast ceremony
Plus it, yeah.
and make holy water, so you can stop them from reanimating. That's fine. And casting ceremony takes an hour, so
Yeah,
I also
I'll
want. To,
work on that.
I also want to cast ceremony. Can I do it at the same time?
that means you and Victor don't get short rests.
I don't
I
need.
thought we
I
were
don't
doing
need.
a
We're
long
not
rest.
short, we're longing.
But you could shorten that hour while
Yeah, I'll
Victor
short rest
and
at that time.
Prosp'rus, because if you have things you
Prep
regain on
the
short
spells.
rests, you can have them in that short rest time
I see.
while Prosp'rus and Victor cast their ceremonies to get holy water and whatever Prosp'rus wants to do.
I will
Cool.
give myself
Okay.
back 49 hit points though from my
Challenge.
Yeah.
lay on
no,
hands.
Lay on hands. Okay, you can
my
do that.
thing.
I've got some key points back.
Mhm.
Can we use arcane recovery?
Okay, so Victor, now you and Prosp'rus are both casting, and meanwhile, Ashra, I'm very happy as part of a short rest for you to be casting Identify and identifying all of these items. That is fine.
Please.
So you could also potentially use them if you wanted to in this next thing. It's up to you.
Sweet.
Right, let's do all those one at a time. So, Victor, your blessing of this water to make it holy water, what are you doing?
I assume I'm sitting cross-legged with like kind of the water in front of me. I've
Mhm.
got both hands held out just above it.
Mhm.
Like you can see the ring kind of like glowing faintly
Mhm.
as I kind of just like my patron is Lyra. I'm muttering kind of like kind encouragement to this water in an effort to bless it.
You're blessing the water by making it feel good.
Yeah.
Hey, water,
So
how's
she-
it going? You all right, water?
Got
Having a good
this.
time?
You're crushing it.
Sweet.
You're the best
That's
water.
okay. You can do it. We just need your help to get rid of the flaming skulls. Thank you. And like
Cute.
very softly over an hour.
Great, you do. And in doing so, this water becomes holy water, so you can use it for this purpose. That is fine. I will allow. Ashra, identifying these objects.
Oh, can I do mine because I'm also casting ceremony? Or do you want?
Well, yours is going to. I assume yours has a greater story relevance moment
Oh,
because
okay.
that was very much I need holy water to stop the flame skulls,
Okay.
and this is give out the magic items. And yours, I imagine, is more role play heavy and
Okay,
quite
fine.
pleasant. So
Cool.
let's do that. Let's save that for the end, shall we?
Okay.
Good. Right. So Ashra, the necklace is a necklace of prayer beads, which
It's the one with the wheat pendant. The wheat pendant.
no, the wheat pendant is not.
Oh,
The wheat
that-
pendant is
okay,
something
right,
different.
right.
The necklace is a necklace of prayer beads, which is specifically designed for clerics.
Oh,
It is.
Hand it to Victor.
It is of Mistril. It is a holy item of Mistril, which Mistril is a dead god of magic. Lyra and Mistra, the current version of Mistril, get on perfectly well, so there's no issue with that.
She won't.
No. Can you roll me a d4, please?
I sure
Prayer
can.
beads next to player beads. I don't know what's on it until you roll, which is quite fun.
It's a 2.
Okay, there are 4 beads on this. The way this works is each bead contains a spell you cast from it as a bonus action, and you can't use it again until the next day. So you get 4 free spells per day.
Wow.
cool.
Now, can you please roll me a d20? 4 times, and we'll see what the 4 spells are.
This is exciting.
Okay. That's a 3.
It is the first one you have a bless in the first one
Bless. Nice.
as a bonus action, and it's also casting from an object, which means that you
Should
can.
write this down somewhere.
Yeah, it's also casting from an object, which means you can cast a spell as your main action and then cast from the item as a bonus action in one turn. Yeah,
All right.
it's a really
That second
cool
one
item.
was the 5.
It's another one of bless. You have 2 blesses.
I never use bless. Oh, okay, hang on. 16.
Greater restoration.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Awesome.
There's 1 if you roll. I'm going to be really, really, really scared.
It's 11.
It's a 2nd level cure wounds,
Brilliant.
which is a bonus action cure wounds,
great.
which is really, really
Yeah,
good.
it's really good.
No,
Yeah,
a,
that's a scary one.
a 19 is planar ally, which means you can literally
I love
summon an
planar
angel to
ally.
just turn up and do shit
Yeah,
for
but you need to have loads of gold.
You have to pay it to do it, but still, like, it's one of those things where you basically go, I summon an angel. Hey, there's a thing over there. Yeah. It's great.
What would a 20 get you?
Windwalk, amazingly, it's worse. I don't really understand why they've done that.
That's an amazing spell.
All right, George, fine.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay, which one do you identify next?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Identify next. Well, let's do the armor. Prosp'rus is practically bouncing, and if I don't get it done by the time Prosp'rus is done with ceremony, Prosp'rus is going to be.
I mean, I'm just happy with the having armor that's actually Chontea symbology based for once.
I know.
And it's all one set. It's not all like random weird pieces that have been given to me by people. Which is not a bad thing. Like, I like the armor that's been given to me by people, but this is like a whole set of armor. I'm keeping my arm bits. I'm not giving those away. But
Prosp'rus.
yes.
This is +1 mithril plate armor.
Ooh.
It is a light, flexible metal that does not impose disadvantage on dexterity checks.
Oh, amazing! We can stealth at that.
That is what you get.
Stealth crew.
Stealth crew.
Present.
I mean, you will all note that Milk doesn't have one. There's something coming.
What? That's
Oh,
so
Sammy wasn't
mean.
aside. That's exciting.
Mm. George, which one do you identify next?
Sorry. Yes. Let's do the microwave zappy or microwave heaty, whatever. I don't
Microwave
know.
heaty braces. Yeah, call them that. Right, I need to find them because I've tweaked something slightly that exists in game. So, as you identified them, these gloves, they're called gloves of flame, or as I like to call them already, oven mitts.
Ooh.
You add 1d6 damage to your weapon damage or your unarmed strike. It's fire damage, and also when you're using them, they light up. So, Ivy, you do extra fire damage, but you wouldn't be able to shadow step while they're activated.
Ooh.
Why are you like this? The DM giveth and the DM taketh away.
It means that if you're in combat with something, you can just and start hitting.
That
them.
does double my damage for each
yeah,
punch.
that's amazing.
That is. You said they're like braces rather than gloves, right?
Yes, they sit on the arms like braces,
Great.
and they heat up the entire hand.
Oh, that is sexy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
In my head, they look like oven mitts, but
Stripy and blue.
Oh yeah, you can have. If you want them to do that, you can. I have no problem with that. Good.
fair.
They do not go with
And-
my aesthetic.
Okay. And Ashra, you have one last thing that is definitely for you.
Wheaty necklace.
Wheat necklace.
Wheaty necklace.
It's an amulet of health, darling.
That's dope. This will help me not die.
What does it do?
An amulet of health increases your constitution to 19 while you wear it.
Oh my god, that's loads.
It doesn't quite double my hit points, I don't think, but that basically doubles my hit points because I have a 0 constitution modifier right now.
Wow, okay. That's crazy.
Actually, George, what are your current hit points before the amulet?
42.
So you now have 82 hit points.
Oh my god, well
That's
done.
You have more hit points than I do, and you're a wizard.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you can save me.
while everyone else is having D&D Christmas, Milk is going to rummage furiously. And he finds like a bit of broken stone and just holds it.
Fair.
Yes, this is a stone of grace at throwing. When you throw it, it hits people.
Pet rock.
What I want to give you, Red, wouldn't be something that they would have. It would be something that you would get elsewhere, and we'll cover it.
I mean, do you want
I know.
these, Milk? Do you want fire?
I'm not sure what I would do with them, to be honest with you, Ivy. That's really generous. But these wrists.
These wrists
I
are
mean,
made for
good,
flying.
but good. Okay, I'll keep them.
Wow.
Christmas.
D&D Christmas.
D&D Christmas. So, Prosp'rus, you were also going to ceremonialize.
Yes.
Ceremony. Do a ceremony.
Sorry, I was trying to make my new armor on D&D Beyond. Sorry. Busy. So I think I'm sitting opposite Viktor.
Yep.
Because we're doing the same thing, just in
Sort of.
different forms. And I've laid my sword out on the ground, and I think I've got some of my original seeds out. I don't have any wheat, but I probably have some. I definitely have some sunflower seeds because you can eat them. I've probably got some like other snackable seeds like pumpkin with me. So I'll just put them like down the sword because that feels appropriate, and I have literally no idea what I'm doing. Because I don't ever cast this spell. I'm just gonna be like, hey Chaunter, this is weird. Cool, good. Really like the new sword. It's really grand. Really liked the scythe. The scythe was great too, and I hope you don't mind that Kenna has it now. I've got off topic. And this is weird, right? Farm underground. It's cool. And basically we're might have to kill something that thinks it's a god and probably isn't a god. And I was just kind of hoping that you might help somehow. And yeah, that was basically it. I'm just gonna sit here now and think for an hour because that's what Viktor says you need to do. And cool, good chat. Do you mind if I eat some of these? I'm just gonna eat them. I'm just gonna nervously eat the seeds. That's it. That is my ceremony. That's what I'm gonna do for the next hour is nervously eat the seeds off my sword.
Shantaya sounds more gerbil-like than I had originally realised.
I feel like I've been mean. I feel like I've taught you to play in a style that is very not prosperous.
Prosp'rus, how do you envisage Chaunter in terms of what Chaunter looks like?
I don't think Prosp'rus has a super visual image. I think it's more of a feeling, and it's kind of that feeling of like someone who is always there. Like I don't think Prosp'rus necessarily feels like Chaunter is very judgmental or has really strong opinions about things. I think Prosp'rus kind of feels like Chaunter will always be with Prosp'rus, and unless Prosp'rus does something like super dodgy, will always kind of have Prosp'rus back. So it's not necessarily like I imagine a really strong sense of a person. It's more of a really strong sense of a feeling.
As you sit there nervously eating seeds, just trying to get a sense
I'm
of...
also slightly hungry, so it's, yeah.
As you sit there nervously eating seeds, not quite sure of what you're doing at all. You've never cast this spell before. You, for the first time ever, hear a voice in your head. Are those for me or for you?
I mean, you can have some if you want. There's plenty. I've got more in my
I don't
bag.
have a mouth. It's kind of odd.
Do you want me to stop eating them?
No, you're hungry.
Okay, well, I'll just I'll scoop them all off the sword and start eating less nervously now. Was it wrong?
Was what wrong?
The seeds. I don't know.
I liked it. It was a good touch.
Okay, good.
I don't need that to happen every time.
Okay, cool.
Basically, anything goes, really.
You're not the Devourer, are you? Because this is like what Viktor said happened with the Devourer, and I'm just checking.
No. The Devourer is fucking terrible.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Not my bag at all.
Cool. Just checking.
No. Did you want something?
Well, did you not hear? I already asked the...
You asked a lot of questions, and it was all very jumbled. Do you want to find... What do you want?
I guess the main thing I want is people not to be charmed by the Devourer anymore, and it feels like the only way that's going to be possible is if the Devourer doesn't exist anymore.
That's one way of doing it.
And the only way that I make things not exist anymore is by killing them.
You're very good at it.
Thanks.
Yeah. And you're... I don't know if you know this, but you set a very good example.
Who for?
Kenna. And others, but Kenna's speaking to me too now. Not directly, not like this, but...
It wasn't my intention.
Does it matter?
No, I suppose not.
You're a ray of sunshine in this world. I couldn't be happier to keep you going and keep you doing what you think is the best way of handling things.
Well, it's good to hear from you directly. It's kind of weird to have you here directly. This is new.
Yes. I got the sense because you talked to Viktor about prayer like this that this is something that you might want.
I mean, only if you want. Like, this is, I don't know, like, usually I just hit things and it's all fine. And I guess as long as it's all fine, I'm fine. Like, it's all fine. This is really, it's good, right? We're good, right? You don't mind that I just hit things, right? This is all fine.
You don't just hit things.
I mostly just hit things.
You inspire greatness in everyone around you.
I feel like that's a bit of an overstatement. Most people are just great and you have to just kind of, like, nudge them.
Plant the seeds, which you do.
I'm eating them at the moment.
It's a metaphor, but fine.
Could you make the sword better? Not that it's bad, it's just not...
You want me to make the sword better?
Not that I need the sword to be better, it's just that, you know, it could be better, and it's not better, and it just, you know, going to fight a god is daunting.
I can make the sword better. I think if anyone deserves an opportunity to show more of what we're capable of, you're that person. Don't compare yourself to Torben, by the way.
Well, I mean... I get what you're saying, but it's useful because he did things that were wrong, and sometimes it's useful to know when things went wrong so you can not do them.
Torben took my holy artifact into battle against hill giants for glory. you gave it to someone because you saw a spark in them that no one else saw. You are not like him.
Well, no, but perhaps the realization that I had things in me that were like him was what made me do that.
Nobody's perfect.
I mean, Victor's pretty good.
Viktor has an interesting relationship with his god.
That's for him to decide.
I know. Well, magic sword. That's what you hear in your head. And looking at the sword in front of you, it does glow briefly, and some wheat-style runes curve and arc over the blade frontage of it. I am always here if you want to talk, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
I mean, if I ever think of anything, I'll let you know, but it's, yeah. Cool, good. Thanks for the chat. This was fun.
Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah. Next time I'm going to fight a god.
I'm sure there'll be many more.
I hope not.
Edie is here with me as well if you ever want to talk to him.
I think that would be quite a lot, but tell him I hope he's well.
He couldn't be more proud of you. This conversation, by the way, everyone, Prosp'rus is having this conversation out loud with nobody. It's been a little unnerving.
So I just hear my name. I'm like, huh?
It's now a +1 sword.
Yay!
Nice.
Thank you.
I love deity interactions.
Who doesn't?
They're so lovely.
Unless your deity's
Well.
terrible. Yeah. We'll get some more of those later, Red. Cool. An hour has passed. Ceremonies have been cast. Items have been identified and hopefully added to character sheets. If anyone needs any help with that, let me know.
I will Marie Kondo thank my old plate mail and put it in the storage unit for whoever comes next.
You marry Kondo, your old plate mail is
Yeah.
the best
Love
line
it.
ever to describe what you're doing. I dig it. Okay. So an hour has passed. The dome is active, and you can still long rest in the dome, except if Ashra steps out of it. So you may have to cast it again. Have you got another third level? Have you got another spell slot?
It's a ritual.
Oh, lovely. Never mind. So are you going to take out these flame skulls with all your new items?
I mean, yeah, should we do that? It might be fun to test everything out.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
Kill some flame
Nice and
skulls.
clean.
Now, because Ashra can drop the wall of force thing whenever she wants to, you will all get a surprise round
Channel
on them.
divinity.
They can just step out of it as well. I mean, I can drop it. I can drop it by stepping out. But if anyone else wants to just go,
In
wherever
which
they
case, you will all get a surprise round on them. So let's roll initiative, and then you may even get 2 rounds on them before they get to do anything. Let's have a proper smackdown on these flame skulls before we...
Waste of a natural 20, so 25 on initiative.
Oh.
Well, I got the opposite of that, and I have got a natural 1.
Oh.
I got 9.
I also got 9.
Who has the higher initiative? Who has the higher dexterity mod?
I have a +1.
+2 for you, isn't it, Victor?
Oh, sorry, +1 for initiative for me as well.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Then
Choose
Matrix
between you.
go
Choose
first,
between you. I don't
please.
care. Right. Ashra.
21.
Wow.
I've rolled consistently well on initiative through even the bad bits of the campaign where I've been rolling badly. Initiative tends to go weirdly well.
Cool. So you get a
It's a
surprise
couple.
round, which means you all go before the monsters do. So, Ivy, you go first. What would you like to
Are
do?
we doing this before the break or after the break?
I think we will do this just before the break, so it won't take long. Sorry, just to let the initiative tracker. Ivy is first. Go ahead, Ivy. What would you like to do on your turn?
How far away are the 2 skulls?
The two skulls are about 20 feet away from the outside of the dome, just bobbing around, like occasionally hissing at all of you, slightly weird, like, and like very clearly being what I would term in D&D terms target practice.
Cool. And it's a bonus action, so but I wanted to get 4 flaming punches in before anything else happened.
Because you could technically. It's a surprise round, so if you bonus action, turn them on now, and then run in and do a flurry of blows.
And then run in, because I'm first, then yes,
Yeah.
I will bonus action, poof, poof, and then run in and hit the closest one 4 times.
Now, they are
Flurry of
flame
blows.
skulls, unfortunately, but...
I don't care.
I don't care.
So I've just decided I'm doing flurry of blows. I'm going to roll all of them at once.
Please do.
That's a natural 20. So one is a 29 to hit. One is a 26 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's another natural 20.
That's 3 in a row, isn't it?
What's going on?
I got the 17 before the 20,
Oh, sure.
but yeah,
Yeah.
and then one's a 16.
Cool. You run in and just take one of them and just start punching
Right.
it. You do have to halve the fire damage, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But...
So I will do the 6d6 normal damage
Yes,
first.
please.
That's 10, 12, 18. And then, so that's 38 points of damage. That's not with the fire damage yet. That was just because I got 2 natural 20s. 38. And then that's a lot of 6s. 10, 17, half of 17. Is that 8 or 9?
8.
8. Cool. So that would be 46 points of damage.
Nice.
Just run out and just punch it out of the air, and then just hammering down on it. It is gone in a second. You just hammer it to shreds in no time at all. In one.
Oh, that was easy.
Ash, what do you do in reaction to Ivy just destroying a flame skull?
Just like reel back slightly. Lot of
Hi.
anger. I'm gonna step out. My damage dealing sucks, so I'm not even gonna go there. I don't think. I know Victor's got holy water, but I can just take care of this one. I'll go for the other then. I'll drop a slow spell on it because if it goes before anybody, then it doesn't. Wisdom saving throw.
It makes a wisdom save. That's not bad actually. That's a 14.
Fail. No.
So it's slowed as well.
Yeah.
So one, it just sees its buddy and looks back and just. Wow.
I'll have the skeletons dish out some arrows. Also, I want to be in a position where if it does cast a fireball, although I don't know if it uses components, so I'm not sure. If I can counterspell, I want to be in a position to do so.
You can counterspell a fireball from it. That is fine. You can counterspell it because you can see it casting.
Skeletons rolled garbage. 12 is the highest.
12 still hits if it's AC's -2 from slow. So.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
So that's d6 plus 6. That is 7.
Yep. Tink! As starts floating around in the air, having taken 7 points of damage from your skeleton. Lovely. Victor. No, sorry. It's Victor first. Victor.
Yes, hello. I'd like to, I guess, throw the vial of holy water that I have.
You have to pour it over the remains.
Oh, part of the remains. Okay, I'll go to the one that's been punched out of consciousness, and I
Ivy's just there. Ah!
I just kind of
Sprinkles holy water over Ivy and the remains. Good visual. I dig that. You save half of it to do on the other one. It's fine. You sprinkle a few drops. Milk?
Well, this seems all very well taken care of. I think Milk will literally sit down on the ground or whatever desk is nearby and just fire off a couple of the old
Pew pew.
Eldritch Blasts.
No
at
problem.
the one that remains.
It has an armor class of 11 at the moment
Headset's
because of
falling out.
slow.
Hang on.
Are you alright?
It's a 24 and a 14 to
Correct.
hit.
Yes.
That would be that one. And so that is a 7 plus 14, 21 to the...
Yeah, you bash it twice in the air and it just floating around. A sort of weird slow motion effect on it that means the flames also go in slow-mo. It's very interesting. Prosp'rus.
Gonna walk over to it and try and whack it.
Do you baseball bat it? Do you literally...
No, I'm gonna try and slash it. I mean, it's... That's a natural 20.
The
it's good to see we're using all of these now. Yeah.
The definition of overkill.
Makes it 34.
Yeah, you hit it.
And I don't know if it needs smiting, but I have second level spell slots left when I'm about to sleep. So I'm going to second level smite on it.
Glowing sword just in one massive overhead chop.
Which makes it... I might as well do it on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those.
Because it's undead, so it takes more damage from... Yeah.
Does it?
Oh.
It's a second level spell slot, so you should only be using 3d8.
Oh, plus another one.
Why did you roll 8d8?
2d8 plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than first.
1d8.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Apart from that, and then 1 plus 1d8 against undead or fiends.
Yep.
So that's 4.
Yep.
Doubled.
Oh, of course,
Which is
20. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Right, yeah, I'm just getting there, right. Go on, how much is it? How much damage do you do to this thing that has 12 hit points?
22. 26 add 22.
48.
48 add 5, which is 53.
53 points of damage. Wow. Just cleave it in half. It is gone.
My second attack would have hit as well.
Yeah, well.
But unnecessary.
Just imagine Victor now going, wait. It's pouring holy water over the remains. Cool.
Okay, now we've done it.
Good.
George, can I assume Ashra's putting up the dome again?
Oh, yeah. Going
Can I
straight back
assume
in
that you're
there.
all long resting?
Yes.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yes.
And that is where we'll take our break. Thank you very much, everyone. See you all in about 5:10 when we come back for the second half of the penultimate episode of Icewind Dale Corrupted. See you in a minute. Bye. And we're back.
That's very good.
Such children, that's what we are. We tell jokes before the break, and we have a punchline we keep telling ourselves, and it's
I
so
think it's
not
my
right.
greatest life's achievement.
It's not right to share, sadly, chat, but trust me, it's crude and great. Good. You were all having a long rest in the control room of Sinoriax, the Netherese city that crashed beneath the Reghead Glacier. You've discovered its purpose. It was experimenting on food to try and make a food source, which has been known, as you found out, by accessing some of the... I was going to say computers, not computers. Accessing some of the magical archives here. A nutriment. A word I've been told off for now, because apparently it's not a real word. So it is a real word. But as George said, it's a perfectly cromulent word. So...
I specifically said the more you say it, the less it sounds like a word. That's not telling you off.
Right. I did feel the same. It does roll around the head weirdly.
But also, given where I think we're heading next, Chris, everything you say is right. You are the greatest and wisest and most knowledgeable.
Can we go kill the god now?
Yes, you can. You have finished your long rest. You have prepped. You are all ready for the day. Anything anyone wants to flag up that they have prepped before you go through the ominous door that leads to the nutriment? That.
Staring at the spell list, panicking, but...
Do we... I mean, obviously there is... hopefully there might be a peaceful solution, is what Milk is certainly hoping for, peace between worlds. But if there's not, is there any strategy larger than the usual? Like,
hit it with a sword.
Yeah, okay, just checking in case I need.
I mean,
I suppose. Oh,
sorry, Prosp'rus. Can I just say smite really loudly? Like smite.
Right. Cool.
I mean, not all bunching up in front of it, surrounding it sounds like a plan, right?
That sounds strategic.
On the other hand, if you all stand near me, we are all generally better at various things.
Yeah, but if it throws, I don't know what it can do. If it throws a fireball equivalent at us, we all toast.
However, if it throws a fireball equivalent at us, we're all slightly better at the saving throw. So,
do you go?
But we're all very near you, then Prosp'rus, and you tend to be very near.
Let's not try and plan for this because we have no idea what we're facing. Let's just go do it.
Good, brilliant. I love
do
it.
you go through the door?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Prosp'rus, it's one of those turny things again.
24. I've got the hang of this now.
Yeah, you managed to open the again the sealed door. Yeah. Are you all rolling stealth checks?
Yes. Can we roll stealth checks, please?
Yes, of course.
I'm not at disadvantage anymore.
New mithril plate. No, you are not.
You are not getting past without trace. I'm sorry. I'm saving my key points.
It's totally fair in this scenario, I think.
I rolled a natural one.
I got a 16.
Good for you.
I get to
I
keep
got a
it.
natural 20.
Oh. Can I have some? Can I have like 10 of you?
Yeah, can I just give some?
No. I think Milk having a 1 is quite fitting, but we'll get there. What's everyone else rolled?
12.
16 and some skeletons. Let's see. Oh, they all look... Oh, no, most of them... Good. No, why is that bad? Skeletons are 21, 8, and 9.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, 29 for Ivy.
As you all step out...
This armour is definitely not as clunky.
As you all step out of this door, you are stepping onto another one of these, what look like... It was described as a gantry earlier. I'm going to keep using that word, but it's made of stone, not made of metal, just so for everyone's visual aesthetic. And it appears to go... It's dark in here, but if you look down, those of you with dark vision can see that 60 feet, not quite, about 50 feet below this gantry, is a wider walkway. And as you look out and around at this bit that you are of the city you have found, you are on a raised walkway about 50 feet up, and below you is quite a wide walkway. And looking around, bits of a large part of this city has been caved in places, and there's ice above you. But this central passageway almost seems to be bizarrely okay, cleared of rubble at least. And you can see some rubble's been taken to the sides as well. And looking back, this central room, 2 sides of it look out onto this walkway. So it's probably quite a central, walkable location. But this gantry keeps going along the top, so you're staying out of the main thoroughfare if you want to. And you are stealthing. If you continue down the walkway, down the gantry, up ahead, you will see that there's a strange light the lower walkway that you are walking over appears to open out into a wider space, and in that wider space, the wider space seems to be glowing with a strange, very bluey white light. Not too dissimilar from the light you saw of the undead creatures earlier. I say earlier, last week, like a while ago now.
Not more of those things.
Could be. Is the magnitude of light roughly the same?
It appears to be much greater. There's a glow, and it seems to be coming from around a corner, if you will.
Should I
Whatever
go have a
it is.
look? Should Melanie go have a look?
I think you're sneakier if you're happy to.
So watch out for the light.
Oh yeah, don't
Don't
look
go
at
into
it.
the light.
Try not to
Cool.
look too closely.
Use the mirror.
If you're going to whisper, stage whisper. You're being recorded.
Try not to look too closely.
Thank you.
I'll go, but not too close, but not too far away, and look at it, but not too closely.
Perfect.
Ivy, are you going to sneak forward? You can keep your stealth roll. I'll allow that.
Thank you very much. I
you-
can't beat it.
No.
Yeah.
So you keep on the upper level, and as you get to the end, keeping very low and very close, you can start to hear the sound of voices as well. As you get to this open space, looking out into it, this open space appears to be, it's very, very high. Like, you are 50 foot up, and the ceiling above you goes up at least another 50, if not 75 to 100 feet up. And there's a curved dome of all of this black rock that the light is catching strangely. The side that you're on, the walkway, curves around and above, and it's this sort of large space in the center, and then the walkway continues on the far side. So it's like a central, almost courtyard space you're looking down on, if you will. This courtyard space, there is a fountain in the middle of it that is just slowly bubbling over with water, and it appears to still be running, and the water appears to keep going as usual. It's just there, running. Inside this space, the far wall where the gantry is alongside, like the other side of this courtyard space at this height, the wall is cracked and broken. And where it has cracked and broken, the ground beneath, around this fountain, is about 1 foot thick with ooze. It has seeped out and is filling a lot of this space. And you can see across inside this cracked space just in there. And you can see that there is basically what looks like another silo or storage space. But it looks almost completely empty. Like most of this stuff has run out, dried up, been used. And sat, you can barely see it through the cracked wall at this height looking down. Sat in the center of it is a sort of rocky grey mass that looks a bit like a calcified fish. It's huge, very, very big, and is clearly sat in about maybe 2-3 foot of ooze, and around it you can see some small bubbles in it, but it looks almost entirely calcified and made of rock.
Emma just tweaked what that is.
So when I was imagining a whale in a bath, I was actually
Yeah, well,
pretty
far off.
living.
Bang on.
I will let you all know that I've just rolled a perception check for it. It rolled a 28. You are exceptionally lucky.
Wow.
And it is over 100 feet away from you across
Oh
this
my
and inside
God.
that cracked wall. What you also notice, looking at it, there is a huge amount of activity in this space. Roughly 10 to 15 people are walking around to the pile, the seeped ooze on this side, picking it up in buckets, walking it back down the corridor on the far side, and you can just about see them appearing and pouring it into the silo. They're replenishing it constantly, trying to get it all back in. A couple others are working on fixing the crack, but they're using wood. They're trying to crack it shut. You spent plenty of time in Camp Hal. You recognize most of these figures. They are people that you know. You recognize Kolbeck, you recognize Raoul, you recognize other Arcane Brotherhood members, you recognize quite a few miners. And looking at the
What about Raoul?
Okay. And looking at the far end, so if that's the side you can see with the crack in the wall and you can see through it to see the Devourer. On the other side, leading away, most of the other side of this, there's a humongous, gigantic shard of ice that has basically smashed into this courtyard space and is filling about a third of it. The walkway still continues pretty much unabated through, and there is a dug hole through it, roughly about 10 foot, maybe 15 foot wide, where occasionally humanoids will go in and come out again. Okay. You also see 3 frost giants that are all standing to attention. They all have that kind of trollish features. Something about them looks slightly off. One of them is a bit bigger and a bit burlier, and all 3 of them are sort of standing around, surveying this scene, clearly on guard. And again, I will roll a perception check for them. Not as good, don't worry. Nowhere near as good. That's a 15. Yeah. It's fine. They are also surveying and guarding this. Clearly the strongest defenders guarding the pretty much weak and frail body of the Devourer. However, all of that is pretty much secondary to something that dominates your entire vision that takes up most of this space. A gigantic statue of a humanoid figure, looks relatively human.
Is it Milk?
Of Milk. Dominates this space. Clearly it is meant to stand to the full height of this courtyard, which makes it over 150 feet tall. Ooh. It is gargantuan, and it is standing with one hand holding an orb, and that orb is what is lighting this space. The other arm is missing from the elbow.
We've seen that! Oh, that doesn't say very loudly.
Oh, dearie me.
None of them have detected you. None of them have seen you. But that is the situation you find yourself seeing.
Before I scurry back and tell everyone that, is there any way, without drawing attention to myself, to look at the giant statue and see if it's just a statue or if it's going to do something creepy?
Sure. It looks ornamental. It's humongous, but it looks ornamental. But you're welcome to roll an insight check on it.
Insight check.
Is the statue lying?
No, it's standing.
22.
It is a statue. It is an inanimate object.
Just because I wouldn't put it past you to kill the Devourer and then suddenly the statue burns you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Crushed by garden furniture.
I remember doing a million tests on that arm that we filmed several sessions ago.
Those days.
Ivy stays for a second, makes her peace with death, and then stealths back to the party and tells them what she's seen.
Cool.
3
Okay, clearly we're outmatched. I suggest we leave and get other jobs in more sedentary professions.
Hey, I thought you were the one who could distract the Devourer.
Well, yes, but okay, it's quite a lot.
Well, if we don't rescue all the people, they will fight for the Devourer against us, I'd imagine. So it's surely the first thing we want to do, de-ooze them, and then they will either run or help us, but at least we won't be fighting 15 miners, including our friends, and 3 frost giants, as well as the flipping Devourer.
That makes sense.
Yes. I think
it does give away the stealth surprise advantage, though. If
we destroy it as well, it may end the effect, though we can't be sure of that. We've never destroyed it before.
Well, it only ends my stealth advantage, not yours.
True, they'll know people are here, but they won't know necessarily where all of us are or how many we are.
The Devourer's seen us do it before, so I think as soon as the sunlight appears, the Devourer will know that we are here.
Yes, because Devourer lives in the brains of all the people.
Right.
Good
If we can
shout.
get close to the Devourer, I can put a wall around us and hopefully between us and anyone who we want to make sure comes out of this alive, although that seems fragile and leaves us trapped in close quarters with the thing.
Dawn does seem a pretty hostile first act if we're aiming for some negotiation. Do we start with Milk and then Dawn and then Punchy Punch?
I mean, Milk, do you want to go in on your own first and see?
I think it's going to be pretty dangerous regardless. So I think it's probably best if I try and slip on in there and see if I can speak to it without attracting attention.
What about I stealth nearby behind you, so if it all goes, I can at least cast quickly.
Absolutely. It feels like if it goes hostile, which it may well, then Dawn should be our absolutely first call, as you said.
The gantry at this level does go around all the way, and there is a very big crack in the wall that you could slip through, Milk. So you could potentially make your way inside to the Devourer without being seen, if you're lucky.
If we did that and Viktor came, would we be close enough if Viktor then wanted to cast Dawn to get a lot of the people?
Dawn is a 60-foot radius, right? 60 foot, 120-foot diameter effect. The ground is 50 feet away.
Yes.
What's the range on? Is it on you? Does it cast on you, Poe?
It just specifies a cylindrical space, but it does not specify me being in that space.
Oh, it's cylindrical, so I thought it was a dome.
What's
So
the
you
range?
literally could make a 120-foot cylinder in the middle of this space.
What is the range, Poe? Because
What's the range
if
on it?
it's not on you,
range is 60 feet.
so you can cast it 60 foot away from yourself.
Hang on.
Yes.
The range is 60 feet. Then what is? And it's a 60 foot.
The area is 30 foot. Oh, I'm very sorry.
Oh, the area is 30 foot. Okay.
40-foot
Radius,
cylinder of bright light glimmers.
A 40-foot cylinder. Okay, well, we can ignore that for the first time round. We did it on the village. That's fine.
30-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder.
Okay. 30-foot radius, 40-foot high. So it's 60 foot across and 40 foot high, which will catch everything. Which means it's 120-foot diameter. Is that right?
No, it's
No.
no, it's an 80
It's
foot
30
diameter.
radius, so 60 diameter.
60 diameter.
A 60-foot diameter, 40-foot high cylinder of sunlight. In other words, anything at ground level would be hit by it, which is fine. You could target that at a particular group of people who would then presumably all be allies and help. Yeah, you'd have to wait for a good moment to catch them all in it, or catch as many as possible. Your DM strongly advises catching frost giants in it, but you know.
And you can cast that 60 foot away from yourself, so you don't necessarily need to be.
As long as you're on the gantry and relatively nearby, 60 foot at
long
an
as I
angle is
can-
fine.
See when a good time to do it is, yeah.
Yes. So I think if you went with Milk on the upper gantry, and then if Milk climbs down and talks to the Devourer, and then you stay up there and target, you'd be fine.
Mhm. Cool.
I will
Are you
say
up
the
for
light
that?
from that orb from the statue that it's holding means that the whole walkway is quite well lit.
I can make one or more just invisible if that's the way of getting close. I can't do it for all of us, and it's not a long-term strategy, but it's a possibility.
I think getting across the room without attracting attention is potentially quite important. If we're to have any control over what happens next. I'm really quite nervous. But yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
So who's just you, Milk? Or you?
If Victor's up for it, I could certainly appreciate the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's
Got
go.
me as I'm undetectable-ish, she said cockily.
It's quite
If
quite
you-
brightly lit around the edges. There's not much shadow. There's shadow underneath the gantry where shadows fall, and there's some shadow in the room, but the gantry itself is quite well lit.
Well, I
Is it-
think whatever happens, it's unlikely that everything in this space will go our way. It would seem. Wherever it's good to be positioned for the rest of it. The Devourer itself, looking at it, or from your description of it, Ivy, doesn't sound like physically it's all that much of a threat.
I imagine it's more psychic and less physical things we have to worry about. And also, it did look pretty rocky. It might be quite hard to get anything to penetrate.
Interesting. I don't know if you think it deserves a good effing punching, then by all means get close.
I'll probably then, if you don't want the backup, I will head around the opposite direction and we'll try and surround it. But
We will. I guess Ashra and I will stay out for the moment, because the fewer of us are in there, the less chance there is of anything being caught.
Okay.
There are ways down from the walkway to the lower level at this level. There are ways out in the courtyard space, so you could get down quickly without jumping off if you needed to.
Could we
Okay.
go down so we're down? so that we're not like in the space but down, so that if things start, we're not having to go down.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
There are ways down from the gantry into the walkway below before you get into the courtyard space. Yes, you and Ashra could be hiding at the ground level, waiting to run in
I
if
think
necessary.
that probably makes most sense,
Mhm.
because then we're not having to go like down and in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So I can cast invisibility on Viktor and Milk.
And I mean, Ivy, if you want to come by all means.
I can do it for 3 if you want.
Your call.
I feel being invisible is a waste of someone else being invisible.
In
I
which
can
like-
do it for all 3 of you, though. But yeah,
Can Prosp'rus? Like, would Prosp'rus being invisible be great? They could sneak up and then do a massive, massive smite. Sorry, Prosp'rus could sneak up and then do a massive, massive smite.
I don't feel like I need to be in the room. I feel like the more people that are in the room, the less chance there is of this plan happening in the first place. I feel like, to be honest, me and Ashra being outside of the room downstairs is better. Ivy, if you feel like you need to be in the room, be in the room. But I really like the.
I don't feel like I need to be at all. Just I think it's very unlikely I'll be seen or heard, and more backup for Milk seems sensible. But if you think it's better for me to stay out, Prosp'rus, then I absolutely can.
No, I agree. I don't think you're likely to be seen, but like Ashra and I are not as sneaky as you, so like there's no need for us to be in there.
And I have very limited anything I can do at range, so the closer I can get, the better. Yes, then Ashra, thank you. I will be invisible. That'll be fun.
I will cast invisibility at 4th level.
Great.
And tap all 3 of you.
So Viktor, Ivy, and Milk are invisible for how long, George?
Hour?
And
or a
it's-
concentration, you know?
And its invisibility is not greater, so if you take any
Yeah, I
action
don't
of
know,
any
yeah.
kind, you will break invisibility.
Casting a spell or attacking, or just making an attack.
Oh, casting spell or attacking, so that's very specific.
You can
then.
do other actions, I think.
Okay, then before you
Uh,
cast it, could I just
yeah.
cast levitate on myself?
Yeah.
Just to get down there. That might
Yeah, yeah.
possible to do that quietly.
Okay, so the 3 of you are going around the top gantry, and Prosp'rus and Ashra, you are going down onto the lower levels so that you can run in. You can stay on the outskirts and maintain your decentish stealth rolls, along with your skeletons, of course.
We're
Ashra.
both on 16s, me
Yeah,
and
you're
Ashra.
fine. You're not breaking into the light, and you're not doing what anyone else is doing. So I'm going to say happily that you'll stay out of range of that, and if combat starts, you'll be able to get into
Can I
combat
move?
with people, giants, whatever, and around.
At the moment that it sounds like combat starts, I will channel divinity, preferably before we roll initiative. Thank you.
We will see how that goes depending on what happens, because you probably won't get any warning. But if, for example, there's a Viktor casts sunlight, then you wouldn't get any warning unless Viktor shouts out he's about to cast sunlight, and then you'd have effectively a surprise round along with Viktor. We will work that one out when we come to it. Right, so Prosp'rus, Ashra, and the 3 skeletons are making their way down and ready to strike if push comes to shove, and Milk, Viktor, and Ivy are invisible and making their way around the upper gantry to the far side, where there's this crack in the wall that Milk can get through. So can I have stealth rolls with advantage, or in Victor's case, flat, because no disadvantage because of the armor. And let's see where you end up.
22.
Nice.
Nice.
Very good.
17 for Milk.
Great. Ivy with
Got
advantage.
another natural 20.
Oh, why do you look so upset?
Wow.
That's good.
Because I want them all to hitting things!
Massage of doom.
You should get
And
into
also
gambling,
that's 5! Like,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Prosp'rus, Ashra, you can't see this. You're just down waiting, and you are within 30 feet of running into melee if necessary, if everyone becomes hostile.
I'm sure Ashra is desperate to run into
Desperate.
melee.
Got
If
a
you
taste for it in my teeth.
Ivy, Milk, Viktor, I've rolled a perception check, and you're a lucky, lucky boy, Milk. As you walk around the top of the gantry, you carefully and quietly make your way to the far side where there's this big old crack in the wall. And looking inside it, it looks similarly silo-like to the other space, but this one clearly was made for holding something more liquid and not something more solid. There is lots and lots of piping and tubing that leads out of it, and you can see that the inside of it is festooned with piping, tubing that clearly lead to all of the alcoves that you've seen before. In some places they've been fixed and welded, so clearly the Devourer has made sure it can influence as many people as possible, using people, obviously. But in most cases, this piping and tubing is leading out of this space. In the big crack in the wall, the fissure that's there, it looks like it's just damage over time. The shard of ice that's broken in is clearly putting weight on this wall and has slowly cracked it over time. So it's losing nutriment, it's losing liquid. Milk, you can slide through the crack in the wall and levitate down if you want to. Ivy, Victor, you will be up here. You're 50 feet up from a lot of people who are milling around doing various jobs, moving some of the stuff back and forth into the silo tank. Milk, is if you push your way through the crack, you can see that this sort of this desiccated fish, basically very large desiccated fish, is sat in about 2 feet of nutriment. It's not a lot, and it's clearly like the bits of it you can see, like occasionally a tentacle sort of comes out slightly at the side, about maybe 5-10 feet out under the nutriment. It's also all got this sort of slightly blackened color to the ooze, like you've seen before. It's clearly what it is using. There is
a very knowing smile on your face.
There are a steady stream of people going in and out of this room. There's about one every 10 seconds bringing back a bucket and just chucking it in, and then just going out and keep going. So there is currently a lot of traffic. However, there is a door. That door is currently open, but much like the hermetically sealed doors in other places, it could be closed. You are currently sort of pushing your way through the crack, still invisible, and seeing all of this. One thing about the Devourer you do notice that is odd, now that you're looking at it, where most creatures have eyes either side of their head in some capacity, the Devourer has 3 eyes set down the center of its forehead. Roll me an Arcana check.
That would be a natural 2.
You have no idea what this is.
Good.
I'm sure chat is shouting the word of what it is right now.
I message it to George.
Yeah, we're having a moment.
Okay. I'm happy in my ignorance.
Good.
It's going to be good. So first, I think I just want to psychically whisper to Malinoe. Any last words? Did I go?
No, I'm wondering if Melinoe is invisible. Fuck it.
She can be in my coat. Or
in your coat is fine, as long as you don't let her out.
She's only not.
This. I want to again reiterate, Milk, that this joining with it is not a bad thing. But it is your choice what you do. It is your choice how you handle this. I am with you. I respect you as an individual.
Thank you, Malinoe. That's kind. I'm going to see what we can negotiate with this thing. Stay close, and I will levitate down towards the ooze without touching the ooze.
Cool, you levitate to above it. You now can't go forward or backward.
I realise. But I should be within 30 feet of it, right?
Thereabouts, yeah.
Okay, so I will open my mind to it and communicate with it telepathically, and say, "Hello, Daddy."
It's rolling a perception check. It gets a +10 to perception.
Bloody hell.
But I'm invisible.
You are. Intriguing. You've managed to find your own way here. As it says this, the doors close. Wow. Victor, Ivy, you can see this closely. Prosp'rus, you get a sense of this as well. The people walking around stop. Just stop in their tracks.
Oh, shit.
Like everyone freezes.
I think we have unfinished business, don't we? You and I.
Have you come here to finish our business?
Yes. Come here to do a deal with you, of course.
Very well. You will not join us.
No, that's not the deal that's on the table today. The deal that's on the table today, my love, is I'll trade you the 3 infant gods in my face for your family if you give me the rest of these folk back. Simple trade. a handful of people that are worthless to you versus 3 of the most powerful creatures in the universe for yours.
Melanoe in your coat is fluttering quite heavily. You would give up your greatest gift to me in return for people.
Yes, it's called growth, darling.
My people, my family, keep me alive, keep me safe, and they grow. The darkness above means they grow more and more. Soon the whole city will be mine. And you offer fledgling god babies that you barely begin to understand.
Absolutely right. Fledgling god babies that I barely understand, but I think you can probably weigh the cost of them better than I. A handful of people, sure, that you're managing to take over, but forget not, you are miles beneath the earth at the very edge of the land. You will soon expend what you can do here and find yourself trapped with starving people, your new reign over before it has begun. You need my help.
I can feed them with a thought. I bask in their food. Their food is me.
Then you can enjoy the little village you will build under the ice, irrelevant and unknown, and you can live here for all time, small and forgotten.
Roll a persuasion check.
Yes.
Oh, 17.
Do you have any kind of intent that you're not making clear at this point? Because my insight roll was ludicrously high.
Yes, I do have other cards.
Don't tell me what they are.
Okay.
This trade that you propose, 3 of the most powerful creatures in the world for my small flock. There wouldn't be any catch, would there?
If you can read a subtler sense to what I'm bringing here, it is that, yes, out of this exchange, I also stand to benefit quite independently, because I want rid of the damn things. So it works. It's a win-win situation.
In your coat, Melina is still fluttering, and in your head, cutting through this, you hear, Milk, what are you doing? No, this is the wrong way.
Shush.
Please.
Millie, now really isn't the time to get into this. You just have to trust me. I do know what I'm doing.
I am sworn to protect them.
I understand that, but I need you to trust me and allow me to keep my focus. We're right on the edge here. Please.
I will
be a
trust
good
you.
space squid. Thank you.
Trust you. Do not give them up.
Milk won't answer.
Okay. Well then, before you give them away, maybe a chance to see what you are giving away. You would be subject to a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Do you want to roll? Please be aware, you know as part of this, the Devourer is not trying to control you or trick you. It is trying to show you something.
Well, when you say I would be subject to a roll, do I want to make it? What's what are my options?
You can make a wisdom saving throw to try and resist the effects of what the Devourer is trying to do to you, or you can go with it, and its intention is not hostile. This will not...
Okay, well, if I roll an insight on it, I know.
Sure, go for it.
Same as it did me. That's 18 plus 6, 24.
Yeah, it is trying to show you something. It is genuinely trying to hurt you.
Sure. I'll just whisper to Melon away. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, tear the place down.
I don't really have... Okay. You don't go anywhere. You don't vanish. And the Devourer doesn't vanish. But you and it are both largely children of a very different frame of reference. The frame of reference that is reality, which you know is just another illusion, fades. And you and the Devourer, now looking less decrepit, less calcified, more animate, fish-like, sinuous, float in a white, pearlescent void with the occasional sort of green, purple, and blue, almost dot floating around you in this space. You recognize this immediately, Milk. You've been here before. This is the strange portal you stepped through in error where the eggs were implanted. You're in the same space.
Is this a sort of unreal space? As in, like, is this...
Psychic vision.
Okay, in that case, I would like to be 3 times the size that I normally am and a flame.
As you make yourself that size, the scale of this is... There is no scaling point of it, and the Devourer gives themselves gigantic vampiric teeth and just flares out and goes, "Are we playing here?"
Milk will turn into a tiny little pussycat and be like, no, just stretching my legs.
Floats back down to looking like its regular self.
Okay, here we are, beyond the veil and the illusion. I'm aware it's here.
It's always here. And you can feel a weighty presence in the back of your mind as a shadow falls over both of you. And looking up, you can see a humongous creature, unfathomably big. Its body is so large, it's very hard to gauge what it is in terms of shape and size. It is basically a milky white, gigantic entity that just floats in space above all of you, a strong psychic presence weighing on both of your minds.
Actual daddy.
You hold the children. I have been trying to think of a comparable term in our culture. You hold the eggs of my king in you. I am but a lowly serf in this space. I am nothing, and you would bequeath them to me.
Imagine what these things could do for you, lowly serf?
I am not unaware of what they could do for me. I am simply giving you a sense of scale.
Yes, I know it looks terribly glamorous, but as I said to you before, there grows to be something rather appealing in the small and the tangible, the taste of a pina colada at sunset, as it were.
Then I accept.
Good. Do you want to shake on it, or...?
I can remove them. And I will, if you allow me.
Yes. As I said, all the other people in this locale, you need to let them go.
How will you know?
I'll know. I trust you to do the right thing.
No one can say I am not honorable. They will reach out, and again, in this space, reality is amorphous. A tentacle from them reaches out and extends and extends and extends, and is just reaching out towards your face.
Cool. I'll just lean my head forward.
As this tentacle reaches towards your eye, it stops. And then reaches into you. It doesn't pierce the skin. It just literally phases into your head.
Mm-hmm.
There's a saving throw, which I'm assuming you fail.
I will definitely fail that saving throw.
Right. As it reaches into your head, you can feel Melinoe's scream back in the real world that only you can hear.
Right.
You feel your eye. You feel the cavity where your eye used to be. There's suction almost. And there's no pain. There's no tearing of the skin, nothing like that. But the sucker moves away, holding within it. You can see within it this sort of pearlescent orb. The eye that you once held is out of your
I cast
head.
telekinesis and crush it.
Snap.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. It's amazing. Fuck. Okay.
Do you want a minute?
The psychic scream, none of you hear this. It's not the Devourer. The psychic scream that tears through you, Milk, is not the Devourer. If anything, the sense you get from the Devourer is just, That's all you get. It's just like, okay. And at the same time, the cosmic horror floating in the psychic sky above you howls in anguish and pain, and you are torn asunder by it. It literally tears you to pieces at this.
Is Milk dead?
I think killing the babies of an ancient cosmic horror in its presence, I don't know how else to do that.
It's fair. It's totally fair. It's totally fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we see?
Oh my god.
Nothing.
I mean, we're right. Of course, Milk is still invisible for one thing.
Milk's no longer there.
There's no body.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
There's no body.
There's no body, there's nothing.
Mm.
The four of you on the outside, the figures all stopped, and they're still stopped. They're still frozen in space, not doing anything. And you don't know what's happening.
Didn't have a contingency plan.
We didn't make any plan. We made no plan.
Who's next to me right now? I forgot.
I am.
The two of you, you're still invisible, and you can't see Milk. You have no idea what's going on.
What do we do? Sorry. What do we do?
Thank you.
I don't know how long this was going to take. We wait for Milk to become visible.
How long is the spell? 1 minute?
Look at me. Do I know about spells?
I don't know.
I punch things. You do the spells.
If I cast the spell now, it wears off for sure, right? For everyone, or just me?
Yeah. No, Ash said that as soon as you attack or cast something, then you stop being invisible. So Milk will have to stop being invisible soon.
Okay. Should I just cast Dawn? It's been a while, right? Would that blow his cover? I don't know.
I have no idea. Yes.
Okay, I do it. I cast Dawn.
Okay. Lovely. As you cast Dawn, where are you casting it? There are 3 frost giants. There's roughly 10 to 15 Camp Howl members around. Kolbeck's there. Raoul is there. Other Arcane Brother members are there. You can aim it to hit a significant number of people. You cannot get all of them.
Okay. I'd like to get the significant number of people that includes the frost giants.
Okay. If you aim it for the frost giants, you will also hit about 6 or 7 of the Camp Howl people who are around there.
Yeah. Well, they'll be easier to subdue than frost giants will, so.
Yeah, this is fair.
Is a Raoul and a Kolbeck in those 6?
Yes.
Great.
That's good.
Right. In which case, Viktor, you're going to cast Dawn on the Frost Giants and some of the Camp Howl members. And are you going to shout out in any way, give your friends warning that you're about to do this, to give them a surprise round? Or are you just going to have it happen and then everyone rolls initiative?
I'll shout out, I guess. I'm like, we don't know where Milk is, but I'm going to cast the thing now, so just be ready with anything you have.
Channel Divinity.
Light up my gloves.
Right.
Okay. Let's kill a god.
Ready? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm good. Yeah, but thanks. Yeah. I'm really good.
And I cast Dawn.
Lovely. You cast Dawn, and as you do, a beam of sunlight, probably pulled out of this orb in the center of this space, pulls down and fills a column of light, meaning the 3 frost giants and quite a few members of Camp Howl are now standing around looking slightly confused while the others are still frozen. Prosp'rus, your sword lights up. Are you running in as well?
Yeah, and my aim is basically to try and push any humans who have not been caught by the Dawn spell in.
Right.
And Ashra, I might be like, Ashra, if your skeletons can help, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I can keep Dawn up for 1 minute. It's a concentration spell, so.
Because we have the spell, so we might as well use
In
it.
which case, what I think is the best thing to do here is roll initiative and then give you all a surprise round and see where we go from there.
Yeah. Oh.
It's been really, really fun, folks.
Nice to know you all.
An honor playing with
Milk.
you tonight.
That was a choice, buddy. That was a choice, and I respect that choice.
You know it's good when the DM goes silent. But, hey.
Get another one! Put that dice away.
I have rolled 6 natural 20s on 4 different dice.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay, hang on a minute. So, Viktor has a dirty
It's the
20.
truth.
Ivy,
Here's
your
the
natural
4
20 is a
dice.
25, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
12.
12 for Prosp'rus.
I've had too much Red Bull.
I mean, I
Ash,
haven't had any of my heart is going, so I don't know how you are coping.
Ash, what did you roll?
6.
6.
Oh,
Not
I mean,
great.
it was an incredible choice.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was just... I stopped breathing for a while. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Ain't over yet. Right,
Tense. It was tense.
Ivy.
Come on, guys, kill the monster.
As the dawn appears, as Viktor casts Dawn next to you, you have a surprise round. Bonus action activating your gauntlets?
Yep.
Cool. And what are you going to do?
How far away is the Devourer?
If you push your way through the crack and leap
Yeah.
in, you
Yeah.
would be able to get to it with movement. It's just jumping
That's-
through the air.
That is what I do.
You cannonball dive the Devourer. Oh my god. That's amazing.
Yes.
Cool.
Onto its stupid head. And that was just movement, so I have an action.
You have an action, yes.
Cool. I'm not using the orange dice.
I was joking.
That was only a 24 and a 26.
Both hit, yes.
Lame.
Just magic. That's one that's got 15 points of damage.
15
Oh, fire damage!
fire damage.
22 points of damage.
22, lovely. As you jump down, it doesn't move. You get the almost strange sense that it can't. But as you land on it and turn visible and just boom, boom, and hit it twice, there is a psychic howl that cuts through you. It hasn't been physically hurt in eons. That as you do, the tentacles under the ooze just, and it's definitely able to do something to you. So we'll see what happens
good.
there.
Did you roll those attacks with advantage? Well, the first one with advantage because you were invisible.
No, I
Just
didn't.
in case you get another of those.
I can't. People think I cheat.
No,
that was a 4,
Okay.
so it's
We don't
okay.
think you cheat.
We don't.
No,
Almost
we
certainly.
don't.
Yeah.
We
Of
don't.
course not.
It's always a joke.
I know, but I know how it looks.
Understandable. Lovely. Victor, you, I presume, are holding concentration on Dawn.
I'm holding Dawn, so if anyone push anyone
Does
into
it
that,
take
that'd
an
be great.
action to concentrate, or is it just concentration
No,
maintained?
it's just concentration.
I guess just concentration maintained.
Cool. You have an action and bonus action. It's a surprise round. What do you want to do?
Action. Okay. Oh no, I can't do that because that's also concentration. But I can. Can I cast another spell that isn't concentration?
Yes.
Ace. I would like to cast Bless at. Remind me, how many people does it affect?
It's a 60-foot radius, so at the current moment, the only person you could really hit with it is yourself and Ivy.
Well, then I will wait to do that. Who's next to me, pardon me?
Ivy's next to you. Don't forget, you have a bless in your new necklace of prayer beads that will
I do.
just hit you and Ivy, which is the right level. It only affects 3 people, so you could do that effectively for free.
Yeah, I will use one of my prayer beads to cast
Cool.
Bless.
That's a bonus action. So Ivy, you are now blessed.
Oh.
Victor, you are now blessed. And Victor,
does
you still
bless
have an
do?
action. You add a d4 to
you
attack
get a
rolls,
D4.
saving throws.
For a minute or just once? Or...
Oh.
It's Bless is concentration.
Oh, it is.
Oh, if bless is concentration, then
Oh,
can't do that.
okay.
You can't do it.
Leave it.
Sorry?
Spiritual
I'm just gonna
weapon,
say-
however, is not concentration, and you could cast it next to the Devourer, which is not going to move.
Can't. Movement speed is 0.
I can't.
No, you can. The Devourer's movement speed is
can,
0.
sorry.
It can't move. It is.
Yeah, I will cast spiritual weapon at 4th level.
Next to Ivy, the Shashgra just appears
Go
and
bigger.
cleaves.
Yeah.
Make me a cleave. Attack it.
I'll make a cleave roll.
Yeah.
That is 19,
Yeah, that hits.
and that is, where's my D8? There you are. Oh, that wasn't very good. That is 10 points of damage.
Yep, that's your bonus action. What do you want to do for your action?
Oh god.
You can't cast another spell because you've cast a spiritual weapon.
I
You
can't.
could cast a sacred flame or something similar. Or you could shoot your crossbow. You can always shoot your crossbow.
I can always shoot my crossbow as well.
Yeah.
It's always lovely to do.
Mhm.
Can I hit it a sacred flame from this range? I got 60 foot on sacred
Yeah,
flame.
you can. Of course you can. It's not far away. Ivy
Yeah.
could jump down onto it.
Yeah.
Inside
I'll
this
fire
rat.
up a sacred flame.
Okay.
That's a dex save.
Well, it's not great at those for semi-obvious
I did-
reasons.
I would just dodge out of the way from my block of rock.
Fish
No.
calcify over time. That is it's a non-natural 1, so yeah.
Wow.
Hey. That is 14 points of radiant damage.
14 points of radiant damage. Excellent stuff.
Cool. I'm keeping that dawn shining. So
Perfect.
feel free to maneuver some folks.
Prosp'rus.
Would it be my entire action to push people in, or can I push people as I move?
I would say that to effectively grapple and move people, because they're currently static, you could probably chivvy in a few because they're not statted, like they are commoners. So you'd have to chivvy them into the dawn.
But would that be my action?
I think so.
Ashra,
Yes.
could your skeletons take care of the whole, like, moving people in thing?
I'm on it.
Thank you. You said there were 3 frost giants,
Correct.
and one of them looked burlier
Bigger.
than the others. Like, I'm not dismissing the fact there's a god over there, but like there are also 3 frost giants in here.
Who are now no
Maybe-
longer psychically controlled.
And
Yes.
what do they look like they're going to do?
You can't tell. They're still looking a bit confused.
Is sorry, many questions.
It's totally fine.
Kolbeck and Ral, they're now looking more like themselves.
Yeah, they are shaking their heads, looking confused as well.
Can I look at both of them and be like, get these people out of here?
Yeah, of course you can. As you run past them towards the frost giants, not like attacking, just like seeing what happens.
I feel like the frost giants. I feel like the Devourer is a threat, but I also feel like the frost giants are a threat, and you're dealing with the Devourer, so I'm going to deal with the frost giant.
You're going to attack one.
Uh,
Haven't made any aggressive actions yet.
but they're the troll ones, and they're really aggressive.
They have been in the past, yes.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I love this kind of thing.
We don't know whether it's like the goo or a combination of goo and troll hearts.
If I go to the Devourer, then the frost giants will have clear path to just attack all these people, right?
Yes.
I'm going to stand right in front of the big frost giant with my sword between it and the people and hold my action, can still get both attacks, right?
Yes.
So that's
You can talk as a free action. What do you say?
well, this is the surprise round, Chris. So if I do that, I lose both my attacks because they won't go before my next turn.
Talking as a free action.
Are you going to hurt these
They
people?
go before your turn.
Okay. Are you going to hurt these people?
They look at you confusedly, and the large one...
Fucking giant.
the large one just looks at you and just bares its teeth.
No, I'm going to fucking hit it.
When in doubt.
I have, however, rolled a 2.
A 2 does not hit.
No, I haven't actually rolled a 2. That's a 16.
Just hits.
And the next one is a 31.
Yeah, both hit. The big one, right?
Yes, please.
Oh, this big one. I love this big one.
I will smite at second level on some. What? I'll smite at second level on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Yes, that's the right number of dice. 10, 13, 17, 22. So that's 27 points of damage on the first hit.
Yep.
Does that look like it was a hefty hit or like not like a glance?
You cut it quite deeply in the leg, and it just snarls you and smiles and hefts its great axe off its back.
Smite it at second level again, then. In fact, before I do the next one, can I Wrathful Smite it, please?
Sure, I don't see
Can
why
I cast a Wrathful Smite? Oh, sorry.
It's a bonus
There's
action.
too many things happening.
It's a bonus action, of course you
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I'm just going to smite it at second level.
can. Okay.
Ah!
Paladin decision trees.
That is pretty damn close to max damage.
Excellent.
38 points of damage.
Sure.
I don't think that's enough dice. I'm short a D8.
Okay. Paladin maths. This is perfectly fine.
42.
42 points of damage. Again, you chop it twice, and it's sort of like the first hit's in the leg, and then as you swing up, you cut it like sort of in the belly, like just above its loincloth. And as you cut it in the belly, it sort of like it stumbles forward a bit, but it's still grinning. It looks happy. It looks like it can't wait.
Nearly 100 points of damage.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to give too much of a damn. Prosp'rus does a lot of damage. I've got to counter it. Cool. Right. Prosp'rus, that's your
That was
turn.
like a quarter of my spells.
Ash, what would you like to do in this situation?
Well, bonus action, definitely assigning the skeletons chivying duty just to try and get the round up the remainder and get them through that beam of light.
Cool. By going into that
self-referencing
beam of light, they're getting
different
quite close to all the frost giants, just FYI.
The skeletons or the people or both? Both, I guess.
Both.
Gotta do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
These frost giants, yeah, that's a whole thing. I was going to go for the Devourer, but I'll do that next turn.
Mhm.
Can I catch the or how many of the Frost Giants can I catch in a 20-foot sphere without dinging Prosp'rus as well?
A 20-foot sphere.
20-foot radius sphere. Sorry, it's a 40-foot
All three of them.
Yeah.
Without catching Prosp'rus, all
Right.
three of them. Yeah, no
Sweet.
problem.
Gonna drop from my Ring of Spell Storing. Gonna sling out a Synaptic Static.
Ooh.
What's that?
Intelligence saving throws, please.
What
from
saving
the
throws?
Frost Giants. Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Nice.
Oh, great.
I'm assuming. I was like, the Devourer is going to be a bit of a problem, but I'm like, hey, Frost Giants, I can do that. I'll throw it.
The very large one rolls a 15.
Doesn't pass.
The other two. Sorry. The other two, yeah, just as bad. Roll an 11 and a 5.
Sure. So they are. Oh wait, their intelligence isn't 2 or lower, is it?
No, God, no, it's 9.
Oh, good, fine. Okay, then it wouldn't be affected in that case. I assumed it wasn't that bad, but
No.
so they have muddled thoughts for a minute, and they take because first of all they take a whack of psychic damage. I'll roll in 1 sec, but they will take a d6 off all of their attack rolls and ability checks and any concentration saving throws they make.
Sure.
And that is 34 points of psychic damage.
Oh, it's like a
Nice.
really, really bad version of Bane.
Yeah, basically.
Dirty Fireball Bane combo. That's fantastic.
Firebane.
Firebane.
This is the one
And
in
that was in your. So that was in an
charged
object.
that up.
So that's
I charged
free.
that up. So it's a free 5th level spell slot because I had one left over yesterday.
Amazing. Very, very good. I mean, you are 10th level characters. You are supposed to have ways to do this, so...
Yep.
Cool.
I think that's me. I want to make sure I'm within 60 feet of the Devourer in case it conspicuously casts any spells.
You
but
can't see it if you're at ground level. The crack in the... You can't see it in the same way. Not in the same
I
way.
moved to a position where I could.
It-
What would that?
George, I'll make this easy for you.
Yep.
It doesn't cast spells.
Then I won't. No, then I don't care.
All of its abilities are innate magical abilities. It won't affect
Cool.
you. Your skeletons will run and start chivying people who will all start... Like, Kolbeck will shake his head, look around, see Prosp'rus running in and attacking the giant, see people moving around, and with the skeletons is going to try and move people out of here. Raoul will also do the same. All the crowd of people are going to start moving, those that have been reached. There's about 5 that are standing quite far away, close to Devourer's door, that haven't been reached. All of the others are now moving past through the either through the beam of light and trying to run out. The 2 frost giants, I think all 3 of the frost giants are going to try and swing out and hit them as they run past. Now, very clear, these are all enemies.
Do they get to do that because it's a surprise round?
It's a surprise round.
Oh, if they've had their turn, they get their reaction. If they've had their turn,
Interesting. The people technically running around don't have their turn, so arguably this is all, because it's all a surprise round still, this will all happen relatively soon. The skeletons are shivering people who are all just being pushed into the light, looking a bit confused, but none of them are actually running away yet.
Okay.
Haven't had a turn yet.
Lots of activity.
Correct. Right. At the end of initiative, Milk. You have a very vague sense of some semblance of reality. You don't quite understand what you are seeing. There's a gigantic milky white creature holding you, but not your body, holding you, the essence of you, somehow. And you think for a second, I'm not just dead. The Big Daddy is doing something awful. This is worse. I'm going to be tortured forever. But then on this white, milky white body, you start seeing gold filigree patterns and some red splotches. You're not being carried by that. You're being carried by Melanoe, who is... You don't know where she is, but she is barreling somewhere at an incredible speed, holding on to the last vestige of you, desperate. You hear her voice. It's vague, very, very vague, just noise that sounds like her talking. And then you hear another voice. You're not quite conscious, not quite aware, not quite with it, not quite there. And then a voice rings through your head, quite loud, quite obnoxious, quite direct. Hello? Hello? You get the psychic feeling of someone knocking on glass. Hello? You still alive?
Am I still alive?
I don't know. Somewhere.
That was me asking you, Chris. But
Oh no, you exactly what you would say. It's fine.
Do I recognize the voice?
No, not even slightly.
Hello? Hello?
Hang on. We can do better than this. There is a clap, and suddenly you, in your form, are sat on a deck chair on a beachfront, and next to you in another deck chair, reclining, is a, demon. Gigantic upper torso, like a proper V-shaped torso. Purple and black leather trousers, short trousers, basically shorts. Hooves, very definite hooves, long tail, humongous horns, big sort of quiff of hair, dainty little Van Dyke.
I will look down at myself. What am I wearing?
What are you wearing?
Well, now I'm wearing yellow and black polka dot bikini, of course.
Perfect.
I'll look across at the demon opposite me. I feel like we've met.
No.
No? Just something about the whole...
Seems incredibly unlikely unless you happen to vacation on Stygia.
Oh, no, hate the place.
Well.
Lovely to be here.
Mm.
Quick question. Last thing I have was definite death. Kind of, full on molecular level death. This is charming, by the way, but
Thank you.
Is this death?
What is death, really?
Well, I mean, my favorite question to ask, but
right.
Any chance of a concrete answer at this point?
I don't really. I'm not big on concrete answers. Right. I don't really have many concrete answers. I mean,
stupid of me.
Well, you're not asking the wisest demon in the book, So,
right.
Your friend, your squiddy person.
Oh yes, Melinaway.
Mel. I'm gonna go with Mel. Mel grabbed what was left of you and tried to find someone to help, and
never.
Why not?
I essentially just murdered her children, I think. Which, I mean, I had reason. But
I don't know. I didn't ask her.
I'm sure she's not overly talkative. Is she okay?
Seems fine. Bit distressed.
Okay. Right.
I think she genuinely cares about you.
That's sweet. Good. I hope she's all right. Where exactly would you say this charming little utopia you built for us is?
Oh, it's none of it's real.
Yeah, more what I'm thinking is that while it's very exciting to be back, I did kind of leave a situation that was very rapidly on the spin.
Did you? Righto. Do you want to go back? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, there's a big part of me would quite like to stay here and order some drinks, but I feel as though I'm duty bound to the people that were there to at least see the damn thing through. Yeah, what?
Oh, I do. Okay, fine then. Well, she came to the right demon. Hang on. Sort of summons a scroll of paper and a pen. Here you go. Sign that. Undying soul. All the rest of it.
Got you.
You know the game. You know the drill.
Absolutely. I was trying to get away from the family business, but if you're insistent, which I guess I don't have a lot of options at this point.
I mean, you could choose to fade into nothingness. It's your call.
Okay, give me the pen. The pen is mine. I'll take the pen.
If that's what you want. I mean, just hang on. I don't like making deals unless I'm 100%.
Okay.
I'm a horrible, evil person. I do terrible things to people constantly. At least that's what they tell me I do. And, I firmly believe that if they tell me to do it, it's the right thing to do, Now, I don't need you to do that. I just need you to do what I tell you to do largely, but I'm not that big on, like, ordering people around, you know? It feels really, like, shitty. Like, oh, go over there and do that. Like, I feel much more on the lines of, like, hey, this thing looks fun. You know, that's my vibe. That's my jam, yeah?
Yeah. No, how do you feel about manifesting upward feedback in the office?
What?
Well, what I'm thinking, darling, is that you tell me what to do, I reflect on it, and then take what action I consider appropriate in that space, right? It works both ways. It's really great. It's a great system. I think you're going to love it. It's very modern. It's a good way to do evil in this line of work.
Roll an intelligence check. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Great. Marvelous. Love your hand.
No concept. Good. Nice. Another one.
Milk will sign in very colourful lettering. This contract, whatever it might say.
Just so you know. Right. I think I can. Hang on. Oh God, it's gotta be. Your body's a mess right now.
Sure.
I can. Okay. You're currently sat in some liquid stuff. Yeah. What's left of you? Bits. I can sort of put you back together again, you know, but some of the bits might, you know, still be in there.
Will I still look good?
You can look whatever you want.
Then, as long as I look good, I really don't mind at this point.
Fine. Then let's do that. And welcome to the team.
Pleasure to be here. I look forward to making positive changes for us both.
Splendid. I'm very pleased about how this has turned out. Always like having new friends.
Name at all?
Sanguine.
Good to meet Sanguine.
Demon Lord.
Demon Queen.
Perfect. And you you wake up. You are lying in the ooze. You're just lying head up in it. The effects of the Kizrin's ooze item that you were hanging your nose over when we chatted are now permanently part of you.
Okay. Brilliant.
As you are now part ooze. And you won't get a turn this round, obviously, but you are in this space and just blinking up, looking around. You can see Ivy just dive in and boom, start punching the Devourer in the head. Viktor's Shashka appears and just slices through. And you're just, I appear to be here. Okay. Melanoe floats into your vision and you get, Milk, are you all right?
Oh. Melanoe, darling, you saved my life.
I think I'm finally beginning to understand the rights of an individual.
Oh, good girl. We're going to have so much fun.
She's going to help you up as much as she can, and that is the end of your turn. Right. Proper round of initiative. Ivy, you're on the Devourer.
Right, oh boy. Okay. Ivy's just seen Milk's body coalesce out of the ooze.
I don't think you're looking at that right now, but sure.
Okay, no, but that's good. No, if not looking is helpful, because if she is looking, then in authenticity, I'd have to miss a turn and just go. So let's go with not missing. I'm not going to attempt to stun the Devourer. I don't think that will go very well.
Do what you like.
I'm going to punch it a few more times first. So I'm going to flurry of blows this.
Of course,
time.
absolutely.
I can do both, can't I? It's just key points.
Yeah.
It's not actions. Well, I'll do the 4 attacks first. So that's that is the lowest is a 19, and then 21, 21, 22.
All 4 of those hit.
Damage. Okay, so that's 20 points of just plus damage, and then that's
roll
10,
all those dice.
14, and then so that's 34 damage, and then fire damage. 11, 12, 14, 48 points of damage.
Wow. Yep, where you're hitting this sort of strange cartilaginous stone-like growth over it, you are breaking it, you are cracking it. And where you are, you're breaking through to the skin underneath. You know that there isn't really any skin underneath. You're punching literally into its body, and you're breaking its now hardened skin because it's an aquatic creature and it's spent a lot of time out of full submersion in the water. You are doing horrific damage to it, and it is that psychic scream is just ongoing. At the end of your turn,
Sorry, can I just say for fun, can I try stunning, say with the last one?
Yeah, of course you can. Absolutely.
See, so spend a key point to stunning strike. It needs to is it con save? I should know this by now.
Cool.
Yes, DC 15.
Okay, just checking everything that I have. Yep. It rolls a 15. Not stunned. And at the end of your turn, it will take a legendary action.
There it is.
Yeah, we knew it already.
And outside, those of you that are watching, one of the 5 figures by the doorway shrieks in agony as it takes psychic damage and dies, which the Aboleth immediately heals.
How many?
Wait, so it dealt damage and then it got those hit points?
It drains one of its enslaved people.
Oh no!
Good job. We saved all those other people, though. Hey.
Yeah, they've only got
On the plus side,
4 now. People.
you got all of the named characters in the door, so I didn't kill one of them. You know.
Aboleths, they're nasty.
Correctly
Yep, real
correcting.
Fucking nasty Aboleths.
Great.
Ooh.
Lovely stuff. Thank you, Ivy. Victor, what are you doing?
Okay, I can move the Cylinder of Dawn up to 60 feet per turn, so I'd
You
like
can.
to move it now to the other 5.
You
or
can
is it
catch
4 now?
everyone who's still alive.
Yes.
Great. You pass it over all of them, and the Devourer no longer has any enslaved creatures.
Boom.
Done.
Boom.
And as a bonus action, you can still attack with your Shashka if you wish to.
Yes, I'd like to do that.
Lovely.
Great. Oh, sorry. Yeah, gotta roll for that. Is that? Yeah, I've only done this spell a million times. Sorry, that's 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Yeah.
And that is bang, bang. 10 points of damage.
Great. Lovely. You do 10 points of damage to the Devourer. Still looking quite badly hurt. Like, it managed to heal a bit, but it might not be enough. Lovely. At the end of Victor's turn, the Devourer will take its second legendary action and is going to try and swipe Ivy off it. Its tentacles and part of its tail are going to just, like, cracking its own cartilaginous shell at this point, is going to whip around and try and smack you off it, Ivy. So that is, yep. Hang on. I have to roll disadvantage because of your damn tattoo, don't I?
Yes, thank you. I'm so glad you remember this.
That is a 21 to hit with disadvantage.
Yeah, weirdly, that will hit me.
Hey. You take 11 plus 5, 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And make me a dexterity saving throw to not fall into the ooze.
I can use evasion for this, right?
Yes, you can.
Which means that
Just make a
it's not
dex save.
advantage.
The damage
it
is
just
still
means- yes,
damage. Make a
that's
dex
the thing.
save.
That's the what's it. That's 15 on the dice, and then save. That's 24.
It tries to throw you into the ooze, and you know previously from what you've encountered that contact with the ooze is just as bad as eating it, so be cautious with that one. But you are not flung from it. It hits you and you fall back, but you manage to hang on to its outside and are not thrown into the ooze. Okay. Prosp'rus, the gigantic frost giant in front of you,
Oh, they go before me.
yes,
Cool.
shakes its head at the synaptic static, just...
Right here. Right here.
It
Right
heals
here.
10 hit points.
Yeah, because it ate a troll heart. It's alright. I did like 80 points of damage to it last round. It's going to have to heal more than that.
And then, as a bonus action, it enters its rage.
Oh, fuck's
Oh,
sake.
no.
And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was.
God
yeah.
damn it, Red.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
Oh.
It was so good.
Is everyone okay?
Is everyone okay? I'm okay.
I'm good.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna sleep 3 years once the red ball
I can't wait a week to do the next bit. Like,
They want to do it now.
can we just like do it tomorrow? Is that okay with everyone?
Now, we're really tight on time, so I'm going to just ask us to wind up, and then we'll pick up here in a week where we get to finish off this ludicrous encounter. Thank you, everyone, so much for playing, for watching, for enjoying us as we play this wonderful game together. Massive shout out to our sponsors, D&D Beyond and Ultra Pro. That's dndbeyond.link/adventureswanted and ultrapro.com. Couldn't do anything without you. A massive thank you to our audience, our patrons who help us make what we do here. If you'd like to become a patron of Adventurers Wanted, head to patreon.com/adventureswanted, where you can become a patron and help us do more of this nonsense day in, day out. Humongous thank you to these wonderful, excellent, fantastic players who I couldn't tell this story without, and you are remarkable people. Yes, we're on social medias. Adventurers Wanted in most places. Adventurers250 on Twitter, so catch us there. Otherwise, catch you next week. See you, everyone. Bye.